Welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here joining us here Tuesday night at the Coast to Coast Racing League and at Simtrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison here with you in the booth. We are going to start out with the wingless division. Actually, we did the wingless last Tuesday. We're going to be doing the midgets again tonight, as you kind of see Brandon Templeton out there trying to figure these out. These little Spitfire cars right here definitely lift the front end of these vehicles here. Man, these things are super fast here tonight. But like I said, we are going to the midgets. These are going to be the fast ones for us here tonight, and we'll have to see how well they can get around the track. Super duper fast out of those. But right now, Steven Spies with 2 race wins starting out the standings so far. Of course, he leads in the front. Seeing this is going into week 3. Hopefully, maybe we'll have another winner here. I do not see Mr. Spies loaded in, but Jack Hitt is loaded in, and he is here tonight right now, fastest on the track for practice. He's coming in the 2nd place position, Terry Landis 3rd, Randy Shreves in the 4th position, and Jeffrey Barker remaining solid in the 5th. I believe John Hine probably will not be here either, if I remember right from last week. He's going to be checking out. But boy, we have a show for you here tonight. This is going to be really a great turn of events for us as we get going. But let's take a little look here. We're kind of going to be in a few different places here tonight, all 3, for the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesday. We're going to start out here with the midgets at Weed Sports Speedway. Then we're going to be taking the fixed 410s, one of my favorite, super fast. We're going to be at Lernerville there. And then we're going to finish off the NASCAR Truck Series at Michigan. The first dirt series we will have each at 30 laps apiece, and then Michigan, we're going to have 50 laps there on the asphalt. So hopefully these guys will be able to calm down a little bit, especially from running such short tracks here. As you can see, the track length here, just over that quarter-mile mark with the track temperature at 75 degrees, air temperature at 84. So it is earlier in the day starting out this race, as I believe these guys are getting ready to start qualifying here pretty soon and going ahead and wrapping this one up. Let's go ahead and see who's out there on the track right now. Kind of take a peek if we can see. I believe Nick Vickery may be out there on the track. Let's see if we can race him down, because I think he's already got his time in. Nailed that 15:29 out there on the track. I think everybody else is kind of getting squared away. Right now is your fastest times. Everybody else has qualified here so far tonight. 13 drivers are what we got lined up for the midgets here. Some guys don't really feel the midgets out too well. They don't really feel comfortable in them. But man, when we get to those 410s, you know, this track lights up. These guys are all over it here tonight. So we're going to see how many of these guys want to go ahead and show their face here tonight. Want to go ahead and give a little shout out for our driver of the week. Dan McLaren is our driver of the week, who will actually be starting in our first heat here. Dan McLaren will be in the 88 machine. We'll see him as soon as he gets loaded up. But let's go ahead and get to our guys here for our first heat, as they're getting squared away here. Let's pop up that grid. All right, so we got Patrick Spangler in the 1st position, Joseph Grandy 2nd, Jack Hitt 3rd, Brandon Templeton 4th. That'll be your 2nd row. 3rd row will be Dan McLaren and Bob DeGood, with Doyle Lowrance there in the 7th position. So these guys are going to kind of square it away to kind of invert the field as they get going here for the race tonight. Of course, Heat 1 is brought to you by Langton Mechanical. Langton Mechanical is a second-to-none heat and air conditioning company from the Hamilton area. They also have their own professionally trained Langton specialists who are there with you every step of the way, and they guarantee your customer satisfaction from start to finish, including sales, installation, and maintenance service of your heating and cooling system. Don't forget that no matter what, on every equipment sale, installation, and maintenance service, it's backed 100% by Langton. All right. I've been told by a few people out there I say all right too much, a little more like Matthew McConaughey out here, but I'll try to do a lot better than that. So let's see how we get these guys lined up to go ahead and give this one a shot here. I think they're going to go ahead and take a couple extra turns here. Now, I do want you guys to notice, from what I heard through the grapevine yesterday, we are going to be shortening these heats up here a little bit. So I believe they only have about 5 or 6 laps to get it done instead of the usual 8. So we know they were kind of trying to smash in as many laps as possible. to get the shootout, but, you know, rather shave off 3 laps each heat and add 5 laps to the feature. I think these guys won't complain much, seeing that they get that extra 5 laps toward the end. But Patrick Spangler and Joseph Grandy up here in the front, going to give this one a good shot. And away they go. Getting slid around there. Patrick Spangler goes in, pulls away. Joseph Grandy there on the outside. Watch out for Jack Hitt. Our guy second in points right now, kind of hanging on that inside edge. Ooh, as he makes contact with, looks like Brandon Templeton, and they're mashing each other to pieces back here. So Dan McLaren really gets the kind of the butt end of the stick here. Now he's out. Brandon Templeton way back. Jack Hitt is now going to fall back, so that's going to go ahead and probably, most likely, secure our top 4 between Spangler, Grandy, DeGood, and Lawrence here. But let's take a look at Grandy here, trying to put a little bit of work on Spangler up here toward the front. Not too far behind him. Let's go ahead and change that thing to the gap so you guys can see. Only about 2/10 off of him here with 3 to go. So these guys got to be really, really fast trying to get around here. See if they can go ahead and collect it up. But Spangler holding that top line seems to be working pretty well. You've watched Grandy before in the 518 hang that bottom line, and it seems to work out for him pretty well. I just don't know when these start getting to the smaller cars how well it works. As you can see, he picks up that left front side of that car. So he dives in a second time. Wow. Man, these guys are just almost, you know, staying straight the whole time. White flag is out. Grandy's only got 4 more turns to get it done. As you can see, man, he's got that thing to the floor. So when he's got that thing stomped down, that left front tire is coming up off the ground there. Right there. Oh, can Grandy hold him off? Grandy's beat him. Oh, the shot to the line. Grandy gets him. By 2. Wow. Wow, by 20 thousandths of a second. So Grandy, Spangler, DeGood, Lawrence. They're in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hitt, Templeton, and McLaren will be your 5, 6, and 7. That was awesome. All right, good job. All right, so that is how we're going to see how these heats get started for tonight, which is going to bring up Heat 2, which will be brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Magnum Race Designs offer iRacing wraps, hero cards, logos, flyers, and even t-shirt designs. If you're looking for a new design and want attention to detail, competitive price, and fast turnaround times, check out Magnum Race Design on Facebook, where you can contact them directly through Messenger. They are a proud sponsor of the 358 division. Right now, we're here in the midgets. Brandon Dittmer up in the front with Jamie McCarron here. Jeff Barker in the 3rd position, showing him getting warmed up here. Nick Vickery, Terry Landis, and Randy Shreves. A lot of these guys are in the top 5. They're looking to kind of turn their luck around here a little bit. See if they can go ahead and get this one hammered down here. This should, if I'm not mistaken, be 2 heats here, and then we'll be straight to the feature. So you guys will be pretty excited here. Let's go ahead and get this warmed up. Couple pace laps out here by our pace truck. Our pace truck brought to you by the Steve King Foundation. Steve King Foundation was formed to help the dirt track racing community across the country by providing financial assistance to drivers, pit crew members, racing officials, track operations personnel, or the immediate families of those individuals who do suffer serious illness, injury, and or death. Really appreciate them coming out here and being able to sponsor us, and us being able to give them a shout out here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. These guys do put on a lot of great races here, and we got a lot more coming up here tonight. But right now, Dittmer and McCarron up here in the front, 83 and the 211 here. Barney in the booth, green flag's going, and off we go. So McCarron gets that early shot there toward the inside line, but watch, ooh, man. Watch Dittmer in that green 83 there. Kind of got that shark face. I like how it's going, but man, just how much speed. But ooh, man, as he almost makes contact with Jeff Barker there in the 513 machine. Good moves by these guys out here so far, but oh man, we just watched Dittmer bite the wall. That is going to send him to the back during the feature. All right, let's get our way back up front. All right, looks like Dittmer kind of bit it there. Looked like Landis may have done the same earlier. So the final 4, here you see Shreves way off by about 2 seconds off the rest of this field. So let's go ahead and keep an eye here on Nick Vickery. Nick Vickery rolling back here in the 00. There toward the back. Kind of rocking a little bit of a white car. I know he's more for that green, but we'll see if he decides to... Oh, no! Man, I gotta stop talking about guys. These guys are folding each other up, so now Shreves gets up in third place. Nick Vickery survives, but he may have broken the suspension on that one. 2 to go. Fortunately, he got a few extra spare parts back there in the trailer. Gonna go ahead and give it another shot. Man, I hate when that happens. As these guys get going around here. Wow. Yeah, Jeff Barker kind of just in tow of McCarron here on the final lap. White flag is out. Nick Vickery still trying to hold that thing in one piece. But he's about to go a lap down here, but now he's going to go ahead and finish out the race. McCarron, Barker, Shreves are 1, 2, and 3. Nick Vickery comes in 4th. Landis. Oh, there he is. Yeah, about a few laps down. May have slow loaded in here. That may have been the issue. He may have not expected to come into the heat here. Having a little trouble in these midgets. I think he enjoys getting those fast ones up and out of there. All right. So this is going to do a warm-up for these guys. Let them get another 2 or 3 more minutes here to go ahead and get settled in, go ahead and get a good feeling for the car. Because these cars really are tricky. There's just a lot of power and not a whole lot of car. So these guys are having a heck of a time trying to figure out how to get them going. As you take a look at Nick Vickery, they're actually picking up the right side of these cars. Yeah, very difficult to handle. So I just say, you're kind of sitting in a steel casket here as it gets going. Just so much power and there's nowhere to go. But this warm-up brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies. Quality racing bodies produced by former NASCAR Regional Short Track Champion Dan Chapman in the iRacing hotbed of Clarence, Iowa. Fantastic night this is going to be here at Weed Sport Speedway. I'm actually not very familiar with Weed Sport Speedway, but it is very small. So, I mean, you just see very, very little time that these guys actually get to... Oh, no! Nick Vickery, they just put you back together. You can't flip it again. Oh. Some of these guys, it's just kind of... It looks like a mixing bowl shape. You don't see a whole lot of straight line here. Let's kind of get a look here from our spectator area here in the booth. You kind of see what I'm seeing from the outside here. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Man, these midgets, they're out there playing bumper cars. That was Jeff Barker there kind of getting bent around. There's Landis upside down. There's something about this turn 1 and 2 here. These guys are kind of getting messed up. All right. See how Jack Hitt's doing. I'm hoping he's looking to turn his... Get a win here tonight. I see he's pretty fast out there right now. Fastest time out there is Joseph Grandy in the 5:18. But we'll see if he can survive this upcoming feature. Got about less than a minute to go here in the warm-up. You do see the track kind of breaking down just a little bit here, but not too much. These tracks are pretty tough. Little cars, a lot of power. Little cars and a lot of power. I believe for the wingless division next week, for Tuesday, we're going to be at I-55 in the wingless 360s. I know this division right here is still looking for a sponsorship. If you go to c2crl.com, see if you're interested in sponsoring this league, we'll be able to go ahead and throw your logo up here, get your little piece in of the action. That way people know what you're out there doing, whether it be iRacing designs, any kind of setups, things like that. I mean, even personal businesses out there, we can go ahead and get you up here in the booth and on the broadcast here at Simtrax Broadcasting. But that is going to go ahead and bring us down right here to our feature for tonight. Our feature brought to you by the Super Dirt Car Series, the Northeast Premier Series, showcasing the big block modifieds premier drivers from Florida to Canada. The Super Dirt Car Series visits some of the most exciting dirt tracks in front of the biggest crowds, the ground-pounding, earth-shattering, window-rattling beasts of the Northeast. It's the Super Dirt Car Series. As we get lined up for this one, let's go ahead and get it done right here, right now, as that's going to bring Joseph Grandy to the first spot. Jamie McCarron into the second. Patrick Spangler coming third. Jeff Barker fourth. Bob's Good getting a solid top 5 start here. Randy Shreves in the 6th. Doyle Lowrance there in the 7th. Nick Vickery 8th. Jack Hitt 9th. Terry Landis 10th. That's going to bring Brandon Templeton into the 11th, and the 12th position is going to be Brandon Dittmer. I know we got one more guy out there, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is going to go ahead and bring us Dan McLaren, our driver of the week, finisher of last week. So he's got a lot of work to do starting from the back here. I think we may see a couple of cautions here. Everybody just kind of, shaking out the jitters here. First race of the night, and it's definitely tough. I mean, the way Tuesday nights go here is, it's something. These guys are hard charging, and what we have here is, we got such a small car with power. Then we're going to go to a large winged car. 410s with the big block, so, that's a heck of a lot more. And then we're going to take you off the dirt and put you on the asphalt. So it's going to be a heck of a shootout here. So, Barney, flag in the air. Wait for the wave. All right, and off they go. So, Joseph Grandy on the inside line. More of the favorable spot for him. He should feel pretty comfortable there, but I'm sure we're going to be battling back toward the back here. Got a couple of guys trying to mash it up. I think Jack Hitt bent it. Jack Hitt is around. And I believe Terry Landis is now bent. Oh, man, we got a bunch of cars bent up on that one. And they're still tumbling. It looked like the 7 car of Bob did good. Didn't go well for him. All right. Let's try to see. I want to start at the Jack Hitt. Oh, made contact right there. Oh, yeah, and just had nowhere to go after that. All right, let's rotate up to Terry Landis. Terry Landis in the 161 car here. Kind of in that tan machine. Looks like he's all right here. Oh, man, and then just the jam up. Bob DeGood kind of jammed it right there on the outside of the, inside of that turn and just kind of gave him nowhere to go. That kind of did it for him. And everybody else was kind of folding up, trying to figure out how to keep collected. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live here. A couple of these guys have got shuffled back toward the back. I believe Bob DeGood is in pit. He may have broken this one. Landis is going to be 12th. McLaren back in the 11th. Dittmer in 10th position. So a couple of these guys have moved up. Grandy happy about still being in the front row here. I believe they're going to go single wide, so it should kind of calm down the racing just a little bit. At least let them spread out and kind of, to me, from the outside looking in, it kind of gives you the angle here to get away. But as I say that, double file they are going to go. So double the danger, if you ask me, as they're going to go ahead and get lined back up here. Jamie McCarron and Joseph Grandy. I expect them to make contact here pretty soon. Grandy's got a good inside line, but when he's trying to make that exit, McCarron kind of crushes him down there toward the bottom. Look at that. Grandy gets a monster start right off the bat. That way he can get pulled away. Let's rotate a little farther back here where Jeff Barker is getting double wide. Almost 3 wide there in the back, and it looks like Dittmer may be around. Yes, he is, and he has spun around. That'll bring our next caution out. But I think it continued from there. Doyle Lowrance here, he got spun around. Alright, so we saw what happened there. Let's take a look here at Doyle and see what happens here. Oop. Yeah, actually wasn't him. There was actually a pile up before that. Yeah, I'm not sure if Terry Landis had anything to do with that one. Let's see if I can roll that one back just a little bit. And let's see if we can take a peek here at Terry Landis and see what happened. Terry Landis, very fast driver here. Just kind of getting tangled up. These little ones are hard to contend with. Yeah, once again, Landis just has nowhere to go. Yeah, a couple of drivers in front of him as well. I believe 217 of Jack Hitt may have gotten turned around. So, all right. So if we can go ahead and straighten this one up here, guys. I know there's a lot of racing here to do. Only 3 laps into it so far. Cautions do not count in this league. So that way these guys do have the maximum amount of driving surface and chances to make that run. But in front right now, Joseph Grandy is our leader. Glad to see him out here doing well so far. Joseph Grandy right now is in the 9th place in the position in the Wingless Warrior division. So if he is able to get a win here tonight, that should slide him easily into the top 5. I know he has no top 5s and no top 10s at this point, so right now he is in the highest place that he can be so far. You know, he has kind of gotten a bad run here, but, you know, I think he's been totaled out a couple times. If you guys joined us for the Monday Night Madness, he took out a couple spectators on the infield, but he's going to try to keep all 4 tires on the ground here. But, man, as we've seen him practice before, he gets those tires up off the ground. A lot of restarts for him so far, but away he goes, taking away the green flag yet again. Getting a good separation, already ahead by over half a second, but we're already starting to see the pile up here with Brandon Templeton. Just as I said it. And upside down he goes. Let's see if Barney goes in and throws out the flag, and yes, he does. Brandon Templeton. Man, what is going on? Brandon Templeton's going to have to go ahead and take it to pit here, as that is flipped him over. It just seems more and more we kind of watch here, the more and more bad things keep happening. Hopefully these guys are able to calm it down a little bit. A little contact there on the inside. Hits the wall and kind of flips him over. But it's kind of weird because it's not even telling me that possibly Nick Vickery got tangled up. Let's see where Nick Vickery is. Yep, Vickery's on his lid. Man, this... Dan McLaren. Yeah, Dan McLaren's been up. Boy, this is going to be a tough night if these guys kind of keep racing like this. But we'll go ahead and get back to it. Yeah, you just see the power right there. You see him kind of pop that clutch, and you see it pops the front end in the air. That's what I was saying. They're just this class here takes a lot of skill getting them aimed in the right direction. I believe Nick Vickery is out. I think he's taking that one back to the garage. Bob DeGood right now is a lap down. Templeton is in pit right now, I think, trying to repair his car, whatever's left of it here. Yeah, he's still sitting in pit, so we'll have to. We'll catch back up with him if he's able to get back out onto the track. A lot of runs by a lot of these guys, so now really your bottom 3 here: Vickery, DeGood, and Templeton. It really kind of bites. Templeton is a very good driver. He's got a lot of skill out there, but man, these midgets just seem to be catching these guys up pretty tight. But I believe pace car lights are off. Joseph Grandy still leads this race. McCarron dropped back a spot and put Spangler into the 2nd position. So pace truck is off. Grandy's going to go ahead and get his early start, as he always does. Breaks away. 25 laps to go left in this one. Grandy pulling away. Let's see if Spangler and McCarron would see what happens with these two as the battle for 2nd starts really kind of heating up here a little bit. Patrick Spangler on the outside line here. You kind of see him in that 39 machine. All right, got one good green flag lap down. Good job. You kind of see everybody spreading out just a little bit back here, but Randy Shreves still having to kind of fight for his life there on the outside in the 56. Oh boy, as they start bunching up right there. And Dittmer is on his lid. We'll have to see if Dittmer has broken that left front there. All right. Let's go on back. There you go for you viewers out there. There's another all right for you. All right. Dittmer upside down. Let's see if anybody else ended up getting tangled in that one. See somebody else toward the top here. I think that's Randy Shreves, if I'm not mistaken, the 56. Yes, the 56 got turned around to Randy Shreves. So McLaren and Dittmer take it to pit. 88 machine is still in pit road now. Right, and I guess that would be a good time to go ahead and explain Gambler Motorsports out here. They're doing a awesome job sponsoring this night here at Topside Tuesday. Gambler Motorsports is an esports racing team that competes weekly across the iRacing platform. The team drivers enter in dirt races, sports car, asphalt oval, and even compete in endurance races. And I mean, I'm talking endurance races such as the 24 Hours of Daytona and Le Mans. So go to Gambler Motorsports on Facebook and follow them. I'll check those guys out. But really, everybody so far I'm seeing is taking a gamble in their life trying to get around here. Out there in the chat, Dre Slay Fan 15. Appreciate you joining us here in the booth. Out there in the chat, kind of seeing what you see here. Might have to ask you what you think about running these midgets, because these things are kind of kicking some of these drivers' butts out here. The only one who's not getting kind of stomped out here is Joseph Grandy. Held the lead, maintains the lead, and goes ahead and takes it away again for another restart. So the fourth caution is out of the way, and now we're back under green. I'm happy to see that. One of my favorite colors. Not a big fan of the yellow. But Patrick Spangler really taking aggressive turns here to figure out how to get back up front. Jeff Barker, slide job, now caught McCarron up, and McCarron's now around. Oh man, that is going to bring in our fifth caution tonight. So we can hold a little bit of a vote here in the chat. How many guys do you, how many cautions do you think we'll get up to so far? Right now, we are at 5. So obviously, don't pick 1 through 4, 1 through 5 here, guys. I mean, I definitely don't see us getting any better anytime soon. I know some of these guys, just I've heard of the case of the Mondays, but not the case of the Tuesdays. Normally, you kind of get wound up, kind of calm down and get underway. Kind of square this one off, but here we are. Looking at our fifth caution. Go ahead and get us through our top 10 here so far. Grandy, Spangler, Jeff Barker, Doyle Lawrence, Landis, Shreves, Hitt are going to be, I believe, for our top 6. Looks like Randy Shreves may be... Yep, Randy Shreves 6, Jack Hitt 7th, McCarron 8th, Bob DeGood 9th, and Brandon Templeton is going to be 10th. All right, out there in the chat, patience. I'm going to guess 9. All right, so there's our first guess, 9. So you think we'll have 4 more cautions. All right, Stella out there in the chat, also guessing 9 as well. You guys are very reserved. Hey, that's saying we, that we're only 10 laps into this thing with 5. You guys think we're going to make it another 20 with only 4 more. So I really like the way you guys think that these guys are going to clean it up. The bent ones are in the pits, but I say no. A lot of guys are laps down now, but let's go ahead. Joseph Grandy, he's got to go ahead and get this one squared away. Really put this race behind him here. If there is another caution here in the near future, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these guys and pull them in. Let's have a little chat with them. I'm sure they'd be banging their head off the ground here a little bit. But let's go ahead and get it back underway. Joseph Grandy back out in the lead. Tries to get a good jump off Spangler and put a half second in between him, but Spangler quickly reeling him in, not letting him get separated much. Spangler trying to run him down there. Let's see Landis. I know Landis, unfortunately, keeps finding a whole lot of trouble where he ends up. 19 to go. Let's count him down here up there in the tower. Landis, you see, boy, just runs out of real estate. Very, very careful. Good job by him trying to straighten it up there. Oh, man. It looks like Lawrence there. Yep, up on his lid. All right, there's 6. Now is Lawrence there. We'll kind of look at another shot of that. Looks like he went and hit that inside wall. Yeah, it just kind of straightened out on him. Once it bucked it, you just see how it flips him over so easy. All right. Back straight. There's another all right. Somebody go ahead and mark this down. I can't stop saying that word. I think just because I'm frustrated. A lot of difficult driving out here. A lot of guys getting bent up. A lot of guys getting flipped over. But here we are. There he is. There he is. Let's have a little chat with this guy. All right. Joseph Grandy, you got a copy on me? Come on, Joseph. You can talk to me here, bud. Oh, man. I think Joseph Grandy's getting pretty uptight down there. Can't blame him, but away he goes. Probably does not want to be bothered right now. He's probably in the best spot of his, in the midgets here. Wanting to kind of stay out front. Pace truck lights are still on. We'll see how this boils down here. Appreciate you guys all joining us here. Here at SimTrax Broadcasting, bringing you Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast Racing League, man, is one of those leagues, man. These guys really put on a heck of a show. Not normally like this, but you know, they got good ones. If you're looking for, if you're looking for other racers that enjoy without all the drama and the name calling of normal iRacing, you can come out and join the Cool Ray Coast to Coast Racing League with over 16 divisions, 7 days a week, and they're broadcasting over 12 of those divisions. If you're looking for something more bigger on the track experience where the cars are virtual and the racing's real, go to c2crl.com. As Joseph Grandy is going to go ahead and take this away again. Terry Landis fighting his way up front. Oh, he's up 6 positions in the 4th. Let's get a little farther out here. Yeah, where you guys can kind of see what all's going on. This the field is kind of dwindling down here a little bit. There's a good battle here up for the lead. Patrick Spangler kind of reeling him in there a little bit, but right now we're going to stick with Landis and Jeff Barker here for 3 and 4. Looks like Jamie McCarron in the 5th position. Takes a peek in every once in a while, but just doesn't have enough as Landis is fighting that outside line. Terry Landis is normally your inside line runner, but now he's getting pushed toward the top. Maybe he's finding that he's able to control that power a little better being toward that high line. See a lot of speed out of that car. It's a lot more difficult under throttle control trying to push these cars around here. Good work here by Terry Landis in the 161 here. Right now, Terry Landis is tied for 2nd in points, along with Jack Hitt, and I believe Jack Hitt is out of the race right now, so he is going to take a solid 2nd finish here, depending on where Joseph Grandy, if he wins this race. But Joseph Grandy not getting away so easy. As you see, a battle for the lead. Spangler's taking it away, so these two are kind of mixing it up here pretty well. 12 to go, getting a good amount of green flag laps here, but this is where the mistakes start happening. These guys start really pressuring each other, pushing their way toward the front, and see if they can get it. Boy, look at Spangler wheeling this car. I want to go ahead and take a little ride along with him. As you see, watch that, if you can see through the mud there, kind of watches his hands on that wheel as he's trying to steer this thing around on the inside of Joseph Grandy. Yeah, you just see him kind of having to wheel this thing on that backstretch there, diving into 3 and 4. Good driving here by Patrick Spangler, holding that inside line, but it is going to be tough when we get down to the wire here. Really, who's going to win it? Oh, boy. Little lump there on that inside edge. Kind of pops the left front of Spangler up. Good throttle control by him, keeping the front nose of it down. Good job by all the drivers out here so far. Oh, man. Yeah, I think there's just something on that turn 1 and 2. We'll kind of pop to that chopper view here in just a second and kind of see what keeps catching him here. Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's a lump in the track that keeps popping the front end of his car up. That has now made him lose almost half a second here. But he's getting super close to that inside edge, and that dirt's just lumping up there real bad. Really putting Patrick Spangler on the back foot here. Really not what he wants to do. He may have to change that line up just a little bit, bring it up by about half a car, and he should have this thing on a rail. You can see right there, man. The Spangler may have just ate it right there. He may be securing that 2nd place position here. That did drop him off by over a 2.5 seconds here with 5 laps to go. Finally getting that nice long green flag stretch here. So Landis can actually get to work as he's up 7 positions here in the midgets. This wingless division is something to do. Without the wing, there's just no downforce for these cars to stay down on the track. So it always keeps trying to pick the front end up and slide it out from under you. So they definitely have to apply a lot more throttle control out here. to keep these things down and on the track. 3 to go. Grandy pulling away with this one. As long as he can keep it safe and off the wall, just stay a nice conservative line. He's got this one in the bag. Right now we're watching Terry Landis and Jeff Barker going at it. So this is the battle for third. Barker there in the 513 toward the bottom. Terry Landis in the 61 toward the top. There's 161 in our ticket. There's a 61 on the car. Terry Landis might just have this as we got 2 to go. White flag out. As Joseph Grandy's going to go ahead and pull away the win on this one. Like I said, if he can stay clean, he's got this one in the bag. He has got a great line right now. Patrick Spangler's going to be second, but Landis and Barker, here it comes to the final turn. Who squeezes it out? And Landis nails it for that third place finish. Awesome job. Awesome job. All right, let's get to our race results here. Landis bends it right there. Grandy, Spangler, Landis are going to be our top 3. Barker, Templeton ends it good. 4, 5, and 6. McCarron 7th. McLaren 8th. Shreves 9. Jack hit 10. Doyle, Lawrence, and 11th. Brandon Dittmer, man. And Nick Vickery, 12th and 13th. That is probably some of the lowest spots I've seen those two gentlemen at. Still good racing by a lot of those guys out there. And really, if you think this is tough, they are about to be in even in a tougher situation here, going into the 410s. This is going to be a pile up from the back. I don't know how any of these guys are going to maintain out there on the track. We are going to move to a larger track, though. We will be at Lernerville there. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and have a chat with Terry Landis here. Alrighty, Terry Landis, you got a copy on me here, bud?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, man, dude. Race lasted a lot longer. You kind of got flipped over a couple times and still remained victorious for a podium position tonight. What's going on with the cars out there on the track?
Oh, it's just a hard track. It's a very, very technical track to drive. It really is, especially when it gets slick.
All right, man, dude. Really, what was the... I mean, obviously, kind of keeping your head down and moving your way up toward the front was obviously the key to coming in third tonight. You know, is there anything you could have done, with these green flag laps to help run Spangler and Grandy down?
No, the 2 guys were sailing. I was too worried about battling with Jeff there. He was on the low side, and I was on the high side. I didn't want to pinch him down and try not to. That was so much fun. But yeah, I couldn't catch him, guys.
All right, man. Super fast here tonight. You will end up, I'm sure, moving up in the points right now. You are tied for second. Speeds did not show up, and Jack Hitt landed 10th. So this may or may not land you in the lead here for tonight, bud. But go ahead and give me your shout-outs. We got to get to those 410s.
Oh yeah, give me a shout out to Galen's homegrown popcorn, best popcorn you can ever eat. And if you put cart in the code, you get 50% off. And the guys back there at KSR, they really helped me out a lot. And Kreitzel Track Race Parts, you need your parts, you know where to go. And my wife Judy.
Cool. All right, bud. Hey, that little that code for cart, C-A-R-T or K-A-R-T?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, C-A-R-T. Yeah, C-A-R-T.
Right, just want to make sure everybody gets that code right. That way they can go ahead and get that done. Terry Landis, great job tonight, bud. Let's go ahead and see what you can do in the bigger cars.
Yeah, we'll get there. Thank you.
Good job. All right, and that will be our third place finisher. Let's go ahead and immediately slide to our second place finish here of Patrick Spangler. Patrick Spangler in the 39, super fast, was just unable to run down Joseph Grandy here. Patrick Spangler, you kept hitting those bumps on that inside edge there, bud.
Yeah, I think they moved those walls out every time I was making a lap. I couldn't judge them right. I don't know if my eyes are going bad or what, but I couldn't avoid them.
Yeah, we got to that chopper view, and I think just as that track started breaking down, I think that thing just started kind of lumping up on you a little bit, and it did pick the front end of the car up. Good job by you by keeping it down and not, flipping it on the lid like everybody else was seeming to have a problem with tonight. Obviously, hitting those dirt piles kind of messed you up tonight. Is there anything else that you could have done to run Joseph Grandy down here?
Maybe just a few more practice stops. It was tough on that setup because they kept wanting to move the left front up, so I would have to tap the brakes, get it to go back down. So I was fighting that while trying to stay out of Grandy. But fun race, and take home second again.
Cool, man. All right, this is going to go ahead and wrap it up for us here tonight. You man, it really Yeah, go and give me your shout-outs here, bud. We got to get to those 410s.
Yeah, Train Wheels Racing, Dan and Uncle back home watching, you for putting on the broadcast, and Roger for running the league.
Cool. Appreciate it, bud, and we're excited to see what you got coming up. Patrick Spangler, man, man on a mission. He's always super fast, wanting to get these done here. Getting on to the next show. But man of the hour right now is Joseph Grandy. Joseph, got a copy on me here?
Yes, how you doing?
All right, doing all right, man. I tried to talk to you a little bit earlier in the race, but I think you were kind of zoned in a little bit. You start tonight in 9th place here in the wingless division. This should, with a race win, go ahead and get you caught up to Steven Spees there, who has taken away 2 wins so far. How was the track feeling for you tonight?
I felt good. I'm a big fan of Weedsport. It's one of my favorite tracks.
All right. Did that thing break down on you at all? I know Spangler was having trouble on that inside line. Were you having any trouble on the outside line?
Nah, I was having no issues.
Man, all right. Well, here we're going into the 410s here in a little bit. You feeling pretty confident on this upcoming run?
We'll see. It's a big change from running those, but I'm pretty decent in the 410, so I think I'll do all right.
2 more questions. All right, I-55 is next week for the wingless, so we'll be out of the midgets and into the wingless 360s. Feeling confident about that car and that track?
No, I've only been in that car once, so I love that track. It's one of my favorites, but the car, it'll be my second time driving it, so.
Okay, well, go and give me your shout-outs here, Joseph, and let's get in those 410s here, bud.
I just like to appreciate you for the broadcast, Coast to Coast for everything they do, and all their sponsors.
Excellent job. All right, Joseph, take it easy, bud.
I hope we see you soon.
Joseph Grandy, ladies and gentlemen, he is ready to get going in those 410s. And like I said, we keep saying 410s, and that's where we're going here next. The fixed 410s at Lernerville, and we are going to be right back after we get caught up with those gentlemen. Don't go away.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. Fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
leader in our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
We are back loud and proud here in the 410 division. Welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out for that commercial break right there at the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. This one's going to be brought to you by 2-1 Designs. These guys getting warmed up here in just a second. You know, we just came from that wingless division in the midgets, and now we're going to the big blocks. We're going to the 410s. These ones are super fast, and man, these guys really get them locked and loaded here for tonight. Let's get straight to that race prep screen. I always love to see how this track is handling out and doing so far. Looks like we got about 69 degrees on the track, 81 air degree temperature. And just, oh man, look at that, under half a mile. So I definitely don't expect to see these guys not slipping and sliding around the track to get this one done here. These guys are going to be sliding around and trying to push their way toward the front. Lot to get done. So we just came from the midget class to the 410s. All right, these guys are getting ready to kind of get lined up here for qualifying. I'll go ahead and give a little shout out here for the standings. We did just talk to Joseph Grandy in the midgets, securing that one away. Now, if I am not mistaken, Joseph Grandy right now, with no wins in the 410s, leads with Patrick Spangler here in the 410 division. Joseph Grandy moved up 3 spots. Spangler moved up 6 when Patrick Spangler got a win here. But with Joseph Grandy keeping very calm, is able to move his way up toward the front and square this one away here for tonight. Going to be a couple of heats, and then we'll go straight to our feature here. We are taking a look at Richard Holland here and see how his qualifying lap ends up. Holland going ahead and securing a 7th place position, really where you want to be, kind of right in the middle. And then that way you can go ahead. Ooh, drops it off the top shelf there. All right, let's see if we can find somebody else who may have a little more success. Dickens here. Let's see how McLaren driver of the week. He's in the infield. Dan McLaren gets that 7th place position. See how Randy Shreves is out here doing. Oop, Randy Shreves in 3rd. guys kind of behind a little bit here. Let's see if Floro here. And the 200. Floro goes in, gets a 4th place finish. And Gary Taylor out here. And I think that may round up everybody so far. Everybody has qualified. What you see is how we're going to get started. But that is not going to be just for right now. That is going to slide us into our first heat. First heat, of course, brought to you by Langton Mechanical. I'm interested to see how Grandy flips this. He is starting 5th just in the qualifying. Spangler starting 2nd. Terry Landis 3rd. Randy Shreves 4th. And Bob DeGood 5th. Landis right now, he qualified. Landis in the 9th position. Bob DeGood back in the 16th. Yeah, Randy Shreves, up in 3rd. So these guys are going to have a lot of moving around to do. We're rounding it out with only about 10 seconds left to go here in the qualifying. And then we'll be underway for our first heat. I'm already ready to go. When they're not ready, I'm going to get them locked and loaded here for Heat 1 in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Don't forget to join us at the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube and click subscribe. Also at Simtrax Broadcasting. Don't forget to subscribe to me there as well. Really appreciate you guys joining and being able to comment out there in the chat. Seeing one of our freaking viewers, Stella out there. And Patience out there, popcorn, and you're thinking more of honeycomb. That must have been from Terry Landis and that popcorn he mentioned. Let's get ahead and get to our starting lineup here. Jeffrey Kemper's going to start us out with Doyle Lawrence there in 2nd. Jeff Floro 3rd. Brandon Dittmer is going to be in the 4th position. We'll get a little better start in that green machine. Roger Craig in the 747. Going to try his luck at a little bit of dirt tonight before he gets out there on the asphalt. And Bob DeGood will be back here in the 6th position. That is going to round out our 6th for this heat. So Jeffrey Kemper and Lawrence here in the front. I'll probably give this thing one more pace lap just because it's so small. They want to make sure everybody kind of gets squared away and lined up here. Get this kind of taken care of. No, tomorrow is the Hometown Heroes. They're going to be lining up next tomorrow. At the Coolray Hometown Heroes. Those guys will be at Lucas Oil all night except the Vets 360s, Mission 22. As these guys are getting going, but let's go ahead and get that green flag out and let Jeffrey Kemper get rolling away here. A long way to go as Floro takes a peek there toward the inside. See if we can get a little farther out. There we go. So you kind of see these guys, look how much speed they get around these turns here. As they kind of squaring each other away, getting mixed up here on my tower. Try to see if I can help you guys out here with Dittmer there in 2nd. So right now, Lawrence, Dittmer, and Floro here. 1, 2, and 3. Kemper dials all the way back, down 3 positions at that cutoff. 747 of Roger Craig, you see hanging back there in the 5th, and Bob DeGood close in tow behind him, trying to run him down. But really, Brandon Dittmer and Lawrence here are going to have a battle out. 83 does the slide job and almost takes it off the edge. Notice, everybody, there are no guardrails here. So these guys, if they drop it off that top shelf, they're in the weeds. Lawrence there takes another aim. Dittmer looking toward that inside there, holding him honest toward the top side, but does he slide underneath of him? Look at that, almost like synchronized swimming. Those guys turning almost the exact same time, but a little different turn exit. As we got the white flag is out right now. Lawrence starting to get away. As I say that, Kemper, see what I mean? Drops it right off the table, and out he goes. So now he loses that spot to Roger Craig. That's going to put Lawrence, Dittmer, Floro. 1, 2, and 3. Roger Craig in 4th. Kemper, 5th position. Bob DeGood trying his best to get up there and get another shot at, but was not able to bite all that off at once. All right, man, let's go ahead and get to our next shot. For Heat 2, brought to you by Magnum Race Designs. Jeff Barker's going to start us out here with Dan McLaren in the second position. Joseph Grandy will be third. Patrick Spangler will be in the fourth position, starting on row 2. And row 3 will be Jason Sams and Jamie McCarron. We've seen most of these guys racing last time they're in the wingless and the midgets. I've not seen Jason Sams here in the 911. See him kind of roll out here, get a good look at all these paint jobs these guys have. Always like Joseph Grandy. They're kind of in this neon color he's got going on. May here we should, I believe, have a third heat there because I haven't seen Nick Vickery. Oof, 39 of Spangler kind of getting broke in there a little bit. Talked to a lot of these guys before about the 410s, and what they just say is there's just so much power. You know, you're still riding in that same frame as the 360s, the 305s, but getting into these 410s, it's just so much more power in the same chassis. It's just so much harder to hold it. They do widen the tires on the back a little bit, trying to hold a little more of that speed there, but just unable to, sometimes unable to get it done. Take a peek off the nose of Patrick Spangler here. Kind of see what I'm talking about, and then the car's behind him. Jamie McCarron there on the outside. These guys got 5 laps to get it done. Jeff Barker, Dan McLaren. Away they go. Dan McLaren gets an awesome jump there on the outside, taking that high line, but ooh, there's a slide up. Barker gets too deep into that turn, collects Sams and McCarron. McCarron off the table and into the weeds. Fortunately, that signage is in the infield. That is not behind him as they're getting turned around again. Spangler catches McLaren here. Let's take a roll back real quick and see what happens with the 88. Spangler kind of aims there, and the 88 just ran out of momentum. Which is going to put our last division winner here, Joseph Grandy, up into the lead here in the second heat. And away he goes. He'll be running into probably some lap traffic here pretty soon. Fastest lap right now, 13 seconds even by Joseph Grandy. But faster than that is Patrick Spangler at 12.5 seconds. These guys are moving something fast. I'll go ahead and pop that up. You guys can see their best lap here so far. Final lap. And I'll bet you some of these guys who ended up getting the kind of the real bad run here, hoping this one is just going to end for them. Patrick Spangler with a 12.29. Definitely a fast one on this track, but Grandy going to take away the Heat 2 win. Spangler second. After that tangle up he had before, Sam's third, Barker fourth. McCarron here in 5th, and McLaren 6th. I believe McLaren bent it, so he may have, we did see his wing folded up there pretty bad, so he's going to have to kind of get that straightened out just a little bit. And get this one underway. Let's get ready for Heat 3. Heat 3 here. Robert Lynch going to go ahead and bring us to the green flag start. With Terry Landis on the outside of him in the 161. Brian Dickens will be in the 122. Randy Shreves will be in the 4th position. Richard Holland in the 5th. And Gary Taylor in the 6th. Yeah, you definitely see how these guys, you see the hump right there as they're kind of driving over that hill, right? Dunk, dunk. So, yeah, that is all that holds them from slinging them way into pit there. Once again, we'll have 5 laps to get it done. I'm interested to see how well Robert Lynch does up here in the front. Getting this one pushed around here. I'm going to go ahead and mention Heat 3. And Heat 3, of course, brought to you by the Salty Dogs Racing Team. That racing team is actually composed of many of the senior members of the Coast2Coast Racing League and has been released from the home to create havoc and chaos on the track. Whenever 3 or more of those dogs are in a race, a dog bone will be awarded to the highest finisher. I know Roger Craig will be one of those dogs out there, but he's got to get a few more of his buddies out there for him to win a dog bone. I believe he won one last week. All right. Robert Lynch, Terry Landis up in the front row to get this one underway. Here we go. 6 laps to get it done. Robert Lynch getting that inside line, but Terry Landis working the outside. Now I'm very interested to see if Landis wants to go ahead and duck toward the inside. Oh, boy. Looks like Randy Shreves got clipped there on the outside like I was showing you before. Slung him into pit. Terry Landis turned around. Gets caught up with Richard Holland. So now Shreves bent. Holland bent. Terry Landis has got some damage, which is now leaving Gary Taylor, Brian Dickens, and Robert Lynch trying to run each other down. This is going to be a shootout, really. The only guys battling for any kind of position here is Lynch and Brian Dickens in the 121 and the 122. So obviously the triple digits are working these guys out pretty well. Robert Lynch trying to see if he can switch it up there a little bit. Got a little too high into that turn. Get a little more speed, but the 122 showing you just scrubbing that outside dangerous edge is pushing them around no problem. Here they go. Oof. Robert Lynch catches that wall there a little bit with the white flag out, so that's probably going to go ahead and secure it here for Brian Dickens. Brian Dickens bringing home the Heat 3 win here. Robert Lynch will come home in second. Gary Taylor not far behind in the 3rd position, above that cutoff spot, and Terry Landis. Yeah, I can't blame him. Got a lot of damage from his vehicle right here, trying to get across for 4th place. Shreves and Holland are out for that one. As we are getting to our warm-up, I want to make sure we give a shout-out here to our division sponsor of 21 Designs. They make wraps for all dirt racing needs. In addition, they also make 1/18th RC wraps. I appreciate everyone's support that is trusted in them, doing their wraps and their paints. Check them on Facebook at 21 iRacing Designs. So now will be the number 21. So 21 iRacing Designs. That's how you guys can find them. These guys are going to go ahead and get another warm up, and seeing how some of those fold ups happened there a little bit and how the midgets ended up. Can't blame them for a little extra warming up here. Going to, make sure they can. Oh no! Terry Landis. Oh, man. I think it sends it off the top there. Joseph Grandy off the top. I'm starting to think this may be a common theme for this track here tonight. Seeing how high these guys are getting up there. Not sure how much damage they are going to withstand, but they're going to go ahead and have their hands full of this track. Right now it's showing me 18 drivers are locked and loaded, ready for this one. Right now it shows only 14 out here participating in the warm-up. Can't blame some of them. Some of them are slinging off, as we're looking at Lawrence there. He's slinging off the track. Tangling up for some of these drivers. 30 laps to get it done in this one. So, take all the practice these guys can get. They had about 30 minutes to get squared away. Get an extra 3 minutes after this one for the lineup. They got 30 seconds to probably squeeze out maybe 3 more laps here. If they can get going around as fast as Patrick Spangler. Spangler has run 13 seconds in this warm-up. Dickens has run a 12.78, and Dittmer's run under a 12.5. Man, that's moving. That is moving. 10 seconds left in this one. That's going to go ahead and wrap it up right there. If you join the Coast2Coast Racing League, the Coast2Coast Racing League has a racing school where the league's top drivers have volunteered to help league drivers improve their driving skill free of charge. They even offer help on various skill sets such as qualifying, driving lines, driver awareness, and setup advice. If you go to c2crl.com, you can schedule a session. You know, these guys are definitely willing to help you out. I can't say anything because this is a heck of a track to really try to help people out on. I mean, some get it, some don't, some have a heck of a chance. But right now, especially if you want to talk to somebody, Lawrence and Grandy up here in the front row, these will be the guys you want to talk to out here leading the pack. That'll be followed by Brian Dickens and Brandon Dittmer in the second row. Third row will be Patrick Spangler and Robert Lynch. Jeff Floro and Jason Sams for the fourth row. And fifth row will be Gary Taylor and Roger Craig. Jeff Barker, Terry Landis for that sixth row. Going to go ahead and move them on down the line. For the seventh row, Jeffrey Kemper and Jamie McCarron. Eighth row will be Richard Holland and Bob DeGood. And rounding out our ninth row will be Dan McLaren and Randy Shreves. Randy Shreves got bent up there early in the beginning of this run here. And he's looking to turn his luck around. Here in the 410s, Randy Shreves right now is sitting in fourth position. Definitely being there toward the back is not where he's going to want to be. Starting so far back, but hey, he may end up with the Driver of the Week award if he can work his way up toward the front. Any of you out there in the chat? Unfortunately, if you guys are over there on the Coast2Coast network, I can't see you. If you subscribe to my page and hammer on that YouTube link, as a subscriber, you'll be able to go ahead and tell me what you think of this race. Go ahead and call out who you think might have it. I think Patrick Spangler has this one in the bag. As long as he can stay clean, he's got this one. Barney in the booth. Away he goes, swinging that green flag. Grandy with an immediate switch up there. Spangler down toward the bottom. He's got to watch out for that row. Oh, they're starting to clip. Terry Landis getting folded up. Yep, watch him fly off the top. And that is definitely going to bring out a caution for us here. About a 5-car pileup on that one. We all saw that happen. Pick a car, any car. That's who we can look at. Let's see how Gary Taylor ended up here. 34 was the first one we saw sling off the track. You know, Roger Craig kind of got bent up in that one too. Roger Craig got spun around. And then got hooked on the 181. Jeffrey Kemper just couldn't get unlocked. You see he's kind of stuck on the tires there. Yuck. Definitely an ugly start to this one. Shows Roger Craig is coming out of pit now. He may have been trying to fix some of his damage, and you can't blame him, especially, you know, you don't want any damage here in the 410s. Any kind of aerodynamic issues can end up causing a big problem for you. But everybody's going to get another shot at this one. Robert Lynch up into the 6th position. Right now, 1 through 8 have not moved. Everybody's starting in their same position. Jeff Barker up 2 spots. Richard Holland made it up 5. McLaren up 6. Randy Shreves up 6. So I was talking about Randy Shreves kind of getting real nervous about where he was starting. But no fear so far. He's moving up like he should be. Toward the front. As the tower does its wonderful thing, as you see here in dirt racing. So Randy Shreves up into the 12th position. I'm probably going to call the 39 Spangler. If he's able to keep that car clean and out of the grass from that restart we saw. With the initial start, I think Spangler might have this one coming. He was one of the fastest cars on the track there. Definitely with a very unorthodox line, but away we go, back under green flag. 39 machine making good moves there toward the inside, see? Kind of scrubbing that grass on the inside, the 122. Watch out for Brian Dickens here. I don't know if Dickens sees him in the mirror, but he's Spangler's put his nose in there and he's making it stick. So Spangler goes ahead and gets that fast inside line, showing how it's done. Spangler moves up into 4th. Brandon Dittmer working that outside line there. Oh, Grandy scrubbing the edge of that top shelf there. Grandy back 2 positions now. I kind of fallen back here a little bit in the 410 division, which has now put Dittmer all the way from 4th into the lead here, showing that outside line. That's where it is. I mean, look at the amount of speed he can get out of this turn here. But I believe Robert Lynch may have Bennett here. I think he's way out there. They do have a catch fence for him, so he may be having to take it all the way back to pit. Let's go ahead and give this one another look here from Robert Lynch. Whoop. Whoop. Look out. And he sends it sailing. All right. Doesn't look like anybody else got collected in that, and that's good. So I don't know if he has any damage there. I'm sure kind of taking flight here. We'll kind of watch him as he goes down pit. Oof. That's coming back onto the track. What in the world just happened there? Fortunately, these cars are pretty resilient. They can kind of take a bump there pretty well, but, you know, not at 120 miles an hour hitting something. See Robert Lynch get around the pace truck there. And that is actually scoring Dittmer, I believe, in the 2nd place. Behind the 3 car of Doyle Lowrance here. Interesting to see on that. We kind of were watching kind of a little farther back in the pack. Dittmer actually had that outside line, getting a lot of speed there. I'm not sure what happened, but we'll see if Dittmer can run Lowrance down here. Lowrance seems to have that front lead immediately, but Spangler there toward the inside. I called him for having that speed, and there he goes. Spangler taking away the lead immediately on that restart. We got somebody else who was off the top of the table there. I believe Floro has sent it off the edge. Let's take a quick peek, see if, yep, that would be Mr. Jeff Floro and the 200 car. All right, rolling around back here to Dittmer. Kind of caught him just getting back on the table there, and I think that is one thing that everybody's really concerned about on this track. Outside line seems to be working the fastest, but is the most dangerous. There toward the bottom. I think everybody's getting, ooh, Bob to good. There in the 7. Everybody kind of have to contend with that a little bit. Let's rotate back here to Randy Shreves in the 56, up 9 positions right now. Hardest charger of the night. Still working back in a lot of traffic. And that is one thing that gets me about Randy Shreves. He fights through a lot of traffic to get his way toward the front. But we are back under caution. And I think this one may have involved Gary Taylor. Oop. Okay, not too bad. Just kind of got them folded around. It's kind of stalling out the car right now. Here we go. But as I was talking earlier about Randy Shreves in this 56 machine, fights through a lot of traffic. And I know I hate comparing people, but this is one, if you guys tuned in last night to the Monday Night Madness, Aiden Young in the 69 machine, you know, and the 360 divisions, just, you know, he wrecked out in every heat he ran. He survived the B main to get into the feature, and then fought all the way up to the top 5 positions in each of the feature races, and really just, I mean, just, he fought through so much traffic to get his way toward the front, and that's why I see kind of out of Randy Shreves here. He fights through so much traffic. As long as he can stay clean and, you know, if things happen, you know, this guy's got a solid podium position. But, you know, here he is up in the 9th position, starting back from the 18th. He's got a good chance of getting his way up there. He's already halfway, and we got 20 to go, so a third of the way through the race, halfway up the chain. But he's got a lot of fast drivers in front of him. I mean, he's still got Spangler. He's still got Dittmer up here. He's still got Joseph Grandy. I mean, Joseph Grandy's super fast out here. I mean, right now, the fastest guy on the track with the best time is Patrick Spangler with a 13:45. And we saw him pulling 12.5 seconds there during the warm-up and practice. So I think Spangler, if he can stay out front, man, he's got a lot more for us here in that 39. But he's got Dittmer hot on his tail. No, no reserves taken here. He's not holding anything back. As Spangler's doing everything he can to try to get some separation from the 83. 83 messes up there a little bit, gets too close to the wall, and gets into the bumps. Really not enjoying the crust there that builds up toward the top. Now he's going to have to fight through a little more of that plaque to get his way there. Let's see back here at Joseph Grandy, really kind of banged up. Holy cow. You see Doyle Lawrence there gets really kind of butt end of the stick. You got to see what's going on. Look out. Is that 3 car kind of marching his way back? Yeah, I'm not sure if something has happened to that 3 car. He just got out of line or out of rhythm here. Jeff Barker has already kind of put him in the rear view. And still fighting his way up front. Look at Roger Craig getting a good move there. Now he got spun around by the 3. Look out. Oh no! Roger! All right. Out there in the chat, Stella, you know, you must have been talking back there with Robert Lynch, maybe thinking that wing was for flying and not for driving. No, it is not for flying. I like the way you think, though. Let's get back here and see what exactly brought out our caution. It says Brandon Dittmer actually brought out our caution. So this actually happened before the last wreck you saw, because then this happens. And then we can rotate to Roger Craig here. And then Roger Craig gets spun around the following 2 turns. Man, Flaro just kind of drives through him there and sends him the rest of the way around. So I don't know if Roger Craig will be able to come back from this one. That one may have bent his car up pretty bad. Let's see if he is down here in pit. See if I can get an angle where he is. There he is. Yeah, he's down here in pit. A lot of damage to that race car of the 747. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. See if we can find him down there. Yep, a lot of damage to the top of that wing. 16 left to go in this one. Spangler still leading our race here. So I believe we're bringing it immediately back under green. Very fast couple caution laps there. So Spangler pulling away on this one. I called it for Spangler, but so long as Spangler can stay out front. Yo, you see him drop those right side tires off the edge. He is pushing the limits of this track. But he has already got a 1-second lead after 4 turns. So away he goes. Joseph Grandy giving it a good shot. He's worked his way around. Dittmer was the one to kind of run him down there, but Dittmer all the way back here in the 14th position. He's got a lot of work to do to make it happen. Still a good amount of laps left to go, 13 to be exact. As these guys get their way around. As I said, Randy Shreves, look at that. Fought his way all the way through a lot of the podium position. And he's lined up for one. Now he's up here 15 positions up. Hardest charger of the night in 3rd place. But there goes Joseph Grandy off the table. And we'll see if Randy Shreves maintains a 2nd position as that brings out another caution. What it's showing me, looks like Gary Taylor and Robert Lynch may have been the culprits of this one. Robert Lynch in the 121, Gary Taylor in the 34. These 2 guys got around and kind of smothered each other out here. Fortunately, nobody else got caught up in that, but, you know, you got to feel the frustration of Robert Lynch here, you know. Just, that's a couple of times somebody's gotten in front of him. He's kind of plowed right into him. So Robert Lynch got a lot of work to do here from the back of the pack. Fortunately, he is still out here on the track. Right now, Roger Craig is still in pit. I believe Jamie McCarron is out. He's taking that one to the trailer. There's no fixing that one. Bob DeGood, I believe, is a lap down. And 15th up is still on the lead lap. But from what it's showing me here, it's showing Grandy may be in the garage. We saw Grandy drop it off the table there on the backstretch, and I don't know if it got loose from him or broke something. But the 518 is out of the race. So Spangler now has to deal with Shreves on this restart. Yeah, Shreves on the move. I mean, man, this guy, with a stroke of good luck, great driving, he has now put himself in the second position. I mean, what a crazy drive from Randy Shreves. Great job by him here in the 410 League. Brought to you by 2-1 Designs here, Randy Shreves. Here he goes. And you can see, once again, Spangler, super fast. Like I said, his best time right now is the 13.39. We'll see if he can break that scene. He's got nobody in front of him. The more this track wears down, the slicker it's going to get. So we'll see with less tech there if that's going to cause anything. But I think Robert Lynch got turned around again. Kind of see his tire track kind of fading away here. Robert Lynch may have bent this one, so it looks like he's still in one piece. But I just don't know if that body damage... Man, it gets tangled up with Gary Taylor again. I think I smell a little rivalry here. 34 of Gary Taylor. Robert Lynch. Robert Lynch doing a good job just kind of letting everybody go by instead of merging out and kind of smoking each other out there. Don't want to do that. Let's take another look here. From our Ace Designs drone view here. Clink. Robert Lynch is going to serve some serious damage for that one. Especially hitting it right there on that left rear. I don't know if he's going to start getting any kind of aerodynamic issues. It's hard finding a bar that's not bent on that 121 at this point. Robert Lynch right now a lap down. Roger Craig is still in pit. A lot of tough driving out here. But out there in the chat, Stellar Stella, I think I called it. I told you Patrick Spangler might have this one, and it's looking still looking pretty good out of that 39 machine. Staying out front. Patrick Spangler really getting it done here. From Tip City, Ohio. He's definitely going to have to tip one thing, and into the throttle he goes under green. Here we go. Patrick Spangler scrubs that wall just a little bit there. Randy Shreves sticking firm as he watched Jason Sams almost get turned around there. Good checkout by Dan McLaren, our driver of the week. Hanging there toward the back. He had to make a massive checkup there for that 911 car. Jason Sams up 5 positions, and also with almost equal success, Dan McLaren here in the 88. He's fought his way up to the 5th position. But with that move right there, it showed him in 3rd, but man, he's having a really contest with one of the other drivers, Jeff Floro here, who got in some earlier trouble in the race, now getting in some trouble now. Here we go. And 88's into the weeds. Dan McLaren gone. And now the caution's out. I think it took a little while for race control to kind of see that one coming. Telling me here that Bob DeGood may have been in some trouble first. Alright, Bob DeGood here. That's showing me McLaren. We kind of saw that, so let's take a peek from the top view. Bam! Kind of obliterated his car there, and I think Floro may have gotten a lot of damage from that as well. Not sure if it took off the top of his car. Looks like Floro has survived here in the 5th position. That is going to bring McLaren down into the pit road. McLaren with some heavy damage in that 88. Seems like these Canadians tonight are having some trouble. I believe Gary Taylor, McLaren, and Jeff Floro are our guys here. Out here from the Great White North. Patrick Spangler still leading this race. Sure excited to see him bring this one home. I have 6 laps to get it done. Like I said, the cautions do not count here. We're up to 7 so far here in the 410s. I think if we get a good stretch here, we might get a good run. I'd like to see if Randy Shreves has anything for him. Especially up 16 positions. That 9-11 of Jason Sams in 3rd position. Jeffrey Kemper 4th. That'll put Floro in 5th. Barker 6th. Landis 7th. Holland will come in 8th. Dittmer 9th. And Lowrance there in the 10th position as Patrick Spangler takes us away again. Here for our next restart. Away he goes. Man, you kind of see what's I like so cool is you can kind of see their arms working from the outside here. You can kind of see him really wheeling this car around, keeping it straight. We might take a ride along here with Patrick Spangler, kind of feel what it's like to take the fastest lap on the track. Let's take a little ride along with him while we're still on the green. Interesting to see. Very, very good line. You kind of see him actually challenge that back line, but watch him use the hump here. Actually, to help him hook into one. If he makes it to Coolray victory lane here, I've got to ask him what in the world made him decide that was a good idea. Because right now it is working. He has almost a 2-second lead as he brings out the white flag. Going around, no problem. Randy Shreves, I hope he had something for him, but 2 seconds behind he will not. That'll bring Spangler here to the win. Randy Shreves second. Brandon Dittmer, after the massive pileup earlier in the race, survives and gets his way all the way back to 3rd. Terry Landis 4th. Jeff Barker 5th. Great job by all these drivers out here. Great job by all these drivers out here. Patrick Spangler bringing home the win. That is now going to put Patrick Spangler with 2 wins in this league here. Fantastic job by all our drivers here tonight. A lot of them ended up in worse shape than others. Brandon Dittmer kind of came up like a phoenix from the grave and survives. With Brandon Dittmer here, let's see if we can roll back and have a little peek at Brandon Dittmer. Let's have a little chat with Brandon Dittmer. Brandon Dittmer, 410s were the ones for tonight. Early tangle up and you land in 3rd. Is that where you wanted to be?
Put myself in a bad position. I was halfway through the race. Luckily, we had a couple cautions to help me out there. Car really came in there at the end, on that, especially on that cushion, to help me get through there.
Man, yeah. How was the track feeling out there for you tonight? You know, did it break down? I mean, real bad, or I mean, because the thing about this track is I noticed no guardrails on the back or the turns. Is that really the scariest part about this track?
Yes, definitely. They're definitely falling off that edge is almost a death sentence. Consider regarding your race and your car. But luckily, I was not able to put myself upside down after that spin out. I was able to get a quick repair and back out there and make the best of what happened.
All right, Michigan NASCAR Truck Series is up next. We're gonna see you out there.
Unfortunately not. I got some other stuff I got to do tonight.
Oh, man. All right. Well, fantastic job tonight, man. Good job, and we will see you next week, bud.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right. There's Brandon Dittmer there. Awesome job by him. I want to talk to Randy Shreves real quick. Randy Shreves coming out in the 2nd position here. Up 16 positions from where you started. I talked about you a lot here tonight. What was the key to success?
Mainly just a lot of patience, wait for other people to make mistakes and capitalize on them, and yeah, just mainly a lot of patience. All
right, well, you fought through a lot of traffic here tonight. You know, you really kind of gotten bumped and banged there a little bit. I saw you have to make a few good checkups there to go ahead and, kind of keep it out of getting folded up, man. But did you have anything for Patrick Spangler here tonight? That guy was super fast, but I thought you may have had something for him if you hadn't had to battle from the back.
Yeah, I think Patrick just had a better 1 and 2 than me. I couldn't stick my car up there. It just really didn't feel comfortable to me. And Patrick just figured it out and ran his line to perfection like he normally does.
All right, good job tonight, bud. Hopefully you'll win the hard charger for the week here. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs, man, as you got a second-place finish.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, ABR Setup Shop, Coulter West at Redline Race Designs, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, CD Cinematography, you guys at Simtrax for broadcasting, and Coast2Coast for putting on this awesome league, and everybody for watching.
All right, appreciate it there, Randy. And if you tune back into the broadcast after the race or whatnot, man, take a look at what I got you in the limelight a good part of tonight because, man, you were definitely on the move. Good job tonight, man. I can't wait to see what you got for us next.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it.
All right, there's Randy Shreves, but the man of the hour right now, Patrick Spangler, up here in the winner's circle. Oh boy, this guy, Patrick Spangler, in the 39 machine. How was the track to your liking here tonight?
Yeah, this is by far my favorite track. So when it slicks off, people aren't used to running it. You can usually get good results here. So definitely around the top all the way around, and other guys can't rely on the wall unlike most tracks. So I wish all the tracks had no wall like this.
All right, 2 things I noticed. One, we took a ride along with you, and you were not afraid of that backstretch. You're not worried about dropping it off the top shelf there. And second, I had a chat with Randy Shreves, and he said you had a better 1 and 2 than him, so he didn't really have much for you. With that ride-along, you seemed to use the dirt that was built up on the wall to bank for turn 1 and 2. What in the world made you think that was a good idea?
Sometimes it can bite you, like on the 360 race, I got into the front stretch wall, broke with the rear end. So it all depends, like where you can get that runoff. The higher you enter, you usually get a better run, but the exit at 2 is where you have to worry about falling off. The rest of it, I don't really. It'll like the cushion will keep you on, but the top of turn 2 is definitely the easiest part to go off.
All right, fantastic race tonight here, bud. That'll be your second win for the 410s. This may slide you up in front of Grandy. I think Grandy bent it, and he ended up 16th place, so that you may, I believe, collect for the points total tonight here in the 410s. NASCAR Racing in Michigan's next. Are we going to see you out there?
I don't know if I have Michigan bot. I'll see. If I do, then I'll race. If not, then I'll probably just stick to dirt tomorrow.
Oh, man. I always find everybody a little nervous about asphalt. I think asphalt's easier than dirt, but all you dirt guys say dirt's easier than asphalt. So it is what it is, man. But hey, go ahead and give me your shout-outs there, man. Let's get you on your way.
Just you for putting on the broadcast. Roger for running the league. Dad and uncle back home watching. Wife Sarah for letting me race here. And Train Wheels Racing.
All right. Great job, Patrick Spangler. I can't wait to see what you got for us next, man. This the kind of racing I called you out, I believe, probably about lap 5 for you to win it, especially with a 12.5-second lap you had there in the warm-up. So I figured you would have it here tonight, man. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, Patrick Spangler there in the 39 machine. Super fast out of him tonight. But we are going, like I said, NASCAR Truck Series. We're getting off the dirt and into something a little more cleaner. We're going on to the asphalt track here in Michigan. So we've got a little ways to travel, so we're going to be in a commercial break as we get caught up there with all of those guys. I'm expecting over 30 drivers there tonight. Going to go ahead and put on a great show for us. The Tim Chapman Racing sponsorship there, and really kind of see what these guys have for us. So far, they've run Daytona, they've run Talladega, so now we're going to be in Michigan. So I definitely expect to see 3, if not 4 wide at that track. Don't go away, all you guys. Stay tuned in, and we'll be right back.
This October, some of iRacing's best dirt racers come together for one of the biggest A-days ever. All dirt roads lead to Charlotte and the Dirt Track Bank World Finals, presented by the Dirt Alliance. fixed 360s, Pro Late models, and small block modifieds collide for 7 action-packed nights in a pursuit of a guaranteed purse of $1,500. 3 champions and an overall world champion will be crowned. Register now for this great event. Go to c2crl.com for more information. The World Finals run from October 21st to the 27th. 100% of registration goes to Mission 22 in their fight to end veteran suicide. A joint effort between the Coast2Coast Racing League, Friday Night Lights, and Dirt Track Bank, a division of Malvern Bank. Don't miss it.
In our industry.
The lifetime parts and labor warranty is pretty awesome. Basically, all the parts are covered, the labor and everything.
When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime, and it's supported with money-back guarantees. And with that, you're getting all qualified technicians that are going to ensure that this job is done perfectly and operates perfectly throughout the life of the unit.
Learn more about our Coolray lifetime parts and labor warranty at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
The 50th Napa Super Dirt Week, October 3rd through the 9th. Racing, music, camping, and more. It's the 50th running of racing's biggest party, October 3rd through the 9th at Oswego Speedway. Don't miss the superstars of dirt car racing go wheel to wheel. Then stay for the live music and entertainment. Get your tickets now at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. Be there.
We are back, large and in charge here at the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. This one will be brought to you by Tim Chapman Racing. We now get off the dirt and onto the asphalt. These guys taking a few extra laps around for practice. Get a good feel for Michigan here. That high line will actually be their favorite here tonight. It's really a good way to, keep these cars in one piece and save for that tire wear. I know these guys have been putting in a lot of practice so far to try to limit those cautions that we've been having the past couple of weeks. I know some of these guys, once you come off dirt where you got to be super touchy, and change your line to, a little bit different on the track. You want to be a lot more smooth and slow and articulate with your turns. Here on the asphalt, they aren't, you can't jerk around as much as you do. We're getting back out here at Michigan. Know any of you guys join us at Simtrax Broadcasting? This is one of my favorites. I like coming out here to the asphalt tracks. Let's see what Michigan has for us here tonight. Track temperature of 108 degrees. That is fantastic for tires here tonight. Definitely not a whole lot of time for those tires to start melting, get melted down, start feeling good, and getting tacked onto the track. That is going to be perfect, and especially when you have air temperature around 82 degrees. Not as cold as you'd like it to be, especially for engine power, but it's still going to work out very well. You're not running around that, that 100-degree air temperature, and especially we are in Michigan here. There we are going to get it done. Man, I tell you what, I always, I enjoy coming to Coast2Coast Racing League, but I think Tuesdays is really my niche. I love coming and seeing the crazy midgets getting out there. I like seeing the fast 410s and then finishing off with an asphalt track here. That just speaks to me in all sorts of different tones here. But we got guys going around here. Let's see who we are taking a pick at. We are looking at Brian Ishkanyan here. New driver in the 19 Toyota. See how he's going to get around here. And these guys starting to get a good feel for it. It's one of those things that you see kind of undoing itself and really having that good secure feeling out there. I did see him during practice there a little bit. I saw him kind of nail that second place finish, but we'll see where he ends up so far here in the works of things as he gets started on his first lap here. Have no fear, we got plenty of race to go. No one yet placing any sort of times just yet. As I say that, here we go. Roger Craig, Neil Strausser up there toward the front. No, my tower's acting kind of ugly for you guys. Sorry about that. May still have a little bit of dirt in the computer there from the dirt race, so it's going to be take a little mix up here. Let me tell you right now that Dan McLaren right now is a fast time of a 40.09. Right now, he is the fastest on the track. See where that 19 goes ahead and puts his first lap. Second place. There we go. So, great driving out of him so far here tonight. Let's kind of see who else we have out here on the track. Let's see how Tim Chapman's doing. Tim Chapman was doing really well last week. All these drivers are going to have a heck of a shot. We'll make sure we go ahead and give a shout out there for this qualifying session here, brought to you by ABR Setup Shop. ABR Setup Shop with more than 7 years of iRacing experience and a 3-time iRacing World Outlaws Sprint Car Series World Champion. Alex Bergeron is your coach and their setup builder for iRacing. The goal is to make you the fastest on the track without any exceptions. Don't look any further than ABR Setup Shops that offer weekly official racing setups, custom setups. Oh, yeah, for the specific races and most importantly, one-on-one coaching sessions. You're already starting to look at a lot of these times really getting down. Dan McLaren up in the front. Ish Canyon second. Mark Gilbert third. Robert Lynch fourth. And Brian Dickens fifth. I think we'll have a little more time for some of these guys to stay out on the track. Let's take a peek here at Andrew Smith. He's one of the guys out there on the track in his 79 Toyota. Monster Energy there. Let's see if we can get a little closer look at that. So what you'll see in Michigan, like I said, is that higher line seems to be kind of a better angle. You know, you'll get a good shot here at Michigan on that high line. And then actually down the front stretch, you'll see these guys actually drop it below the yellow line and kind of cut the track there a little bit. I have found when I race, there is some success in that. Getting around, and it will shave a lot of that time off for those guys getting toward the front here. But I believe that is going to do it for our qualifying session. So Dan McLaren, Ish Canyon, Gilbert, Robert Lynch, Brian Dickens in the 5th position. Richard Holland going to be 6th. Low Rance 7th. Donovan Ross 8th. 9th will be Tim Chapman. And 10th will be Jack Clevenger. Good to see a lot of these guys getting up there in the top 10. So we are coming down. I believe that should be the finish of qualifying. 50 laps in this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a blast from the front up here in the booth. Glad you guys can join us here at Simtrax Broadcasting and the Coast to Coast Racing Network here, bringing you great driving from Michigan. Let's go ahead and get our grid up here and see where everybody's starting. I already ran you guys through the top 10 here. These guys are going to be pretty pumped about getting out here on the track as these guys get lined up looking good. Mark Gilbert up here in the front. Robert Lynch, the 88 machine. We've seen Dan McLaren lead a lot of laps before. So that is going to go ahead and bring us back farther. Let's get started with the 11th place of Jeffrey Kemper and Roger Craig back there. Roger Craig in the 747 Chevrolet. Good moves out of him. 13th will be Pat Boyce. Andrew Smith will be 14th. Row 8 will be Bob Light. We've seen a lot of him doing great driving out there. There's a lot of wreck avoidance out of him. Neil Strausser in the 16th. If you haven't seen any of his wreck avoidance, check out Simtrax Broadcast, and we make shorts of Bob Light. He does a fantastic job avoiding that. Isaac Salas actually able here to squeak in for the NASCAR race tonight. Jason Sams here, 18th. Stephen Bixler, 19th. Joseph Canellis in the 20th position. 21 of Jeremy Tate. Jacob Butcher here in the 22nd. Gary Sigelkow, 23rd. And Dwayne Simons in the 24th position. Look how stacked this field is. That brings us Terry Landis. Hopefully he's able to get a little better shot here than his flipping. He's been having trouble on the dirt track, but he ended up getting a 3rd there in the midgets. Preston Cranmer in the 07. John Rayner in the 302. See if Dale White can get loaded in here. Jackson Lomax here in the 29th position. Looks like Jeff Hallworth in the 30th. Bill Calder, 31st. And Stephen Goldner for the 32nd position. Now, I believe we got a few guys actually serving some penalty time here tonight. Donovan Ross and Dale White will be serving some penalty time, I believe, for a few actions that they had last week. So they're going to be starting actually from the back. So a lot of these guys are going to move up some considerable places. Donovan Ross will be taking the worst hit. He did place higher in the piece, so he'll be starting off 23 positions behind. And Dale White will be starting off 4 positions farther back. Kind of a bummer for these two gentlemen here, but hopefully we can get everything kind of cleaned up, squared away. Not much time here at Michigan for these heat-up laps. These guys are going to go ahead and get underway, I mean, almost immediately. As soon as that pace car ducks on off the track here, we'll be underway. Good times by everybody here in the front. Brandon, Ish Canyon, 2 Toyotas starting up here in the front. Let's go ahead and get those logos up there, and you kind of see good spread out of vehicles. Right now, Toyotas are actually leading and conquering here at Michigan so far for pace time. But that does not mean they're going to be a guaranteed race winner here tonight. As we're getting this one underway here at Michigan International Speedway. Dan McLaren's going to bring us to the green flag as soon as Barney in the booth is ready to go. Oh, a little bit of a late start there. Looked like the 76 and Mark Gilbert wanted to get going before everybody else did. And this is really, I'm going to kind of take a peek toward the outside because turn 1 is always the fun one. This is where everybody starts trying to feel out everybody. The tires haven't quite stuck just yet. We'll make sure nobody gets banged up because that pulling out of 2 is where everybody kind of pinches together. You see a couple of guys kind of bump off the wall there a little bit, but everybody still survives. Roger Craig has already slid up into the 10th position. Looks like everybody's getting a good feel out for this one. Not as crazy as Daytona was. Daytona was definitely a mess. We're taking a peek back here at Roger Craig in the 11th position. McLaren and Gilbert, they're in 1 and 2. Not too bad out of a lot of these drivers so far. So I've got a little bumping and rubbing behind Roger Craig where Bob Light is, about that area. I'll watch that car truck a little lower toward the bottom here. Gotta watch out. Tim Chapman Racing here, bringing you the best asphalt racing that Coast to Coast can show you here on Tuesday nights. Bob Light working that inside line. Good line to start with so far. Don't know how it is going to hold out, especially for any kind of tire wear here, but Bob Light doing a great job moving his way up into the 14th position. We are starting to fight a little bit of a 3-wide condition up here. Back here where Tim Chapman kind of leads a kind of pack behind him. And he may need to find some buddies here pretty soon to see if he can, if these guys can start getting some separation. Looks like about a half a second gap between Richard Holland and Tim Chapman here. The 116 and the 37. So the Chevrolet starting to fall off the back tail end of that Toyota. And if they don't start catching up here pretty soon, it is going to start widening that gap. 7/10 now. You see the 78 doing kind of what I was saying. Jack Clevenger kind of dropping it off the table there a little bit to help saw off some of that speed. But he's got to watch out making moves like that. As the 79 is underneath him of Andrew Smith here at Michigan. All right, see, we've almost got 4 laps in the books right now coming down the backstretch. Everybody kind of boiling down, getting it done. But let's see how Dan McLaren's holding up here as that 19 car is bearing down on him. 2 Toyotas up here, 1 and 2. Looks like Ish Canyon here starting to fight there in the 2nd position. Doing a good job, really kind of keeping his head on. And this is what you want to do. You got a lot of race left to go. Use that draft. Yeah, you're getting a little bit of that dirty air. But it may be an idea, kind of stick up on him on that longer front stretch and see if you want to make that move toward the inside. If you hang there toward the outside, you know, you kind of save the tires there a little bit and going ahead to get a good wind up down the backstretch here. Right now, McLaren, Ish Canyon, Mark Gilbert, Brian Dickens, Doyle Lowrance here in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Robert Lynch taking a peek here from the outside of the top 5 there in the 121 car. We see him on the outskirts of our screen with the 116 of Richard Holland as well. Tim Chapman can't seem to be getting any sort of help here. As you see how much farther back he is, trying to see if he can reel in Richard Holland, but just not enough. As Tim Chapman has been left stranded out here in the middle. And almost has a 7/10 of a second gap in front of him and a 1 second gap behind him. Right now, this is really, if any of you guys know any sort of asphalt racing, for Tim Chapman, this is pretty bad. But right now, boy, something happened to Holland there. And Chapman gets reeled in there and is going to go ahead and get a good shot there toward the front. I'm not sure if these two guys are teammates here. Go ahead and drop back a little bit, let him reel you in, and then use him to get your way back toward the front. But we are under caution there, and it looks like Jackson Lomax may have been it. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Lomax here. Right, straight to Jackson Lomax. Yuck. Already see from that angle right there, that is not looking good. Let's get to the Malcolm Mills mill riding here and see what transpired from this wreck. And I believe it actually happened farther up than him. Let's take a look here at the caution replay. As you kind of see between the caution replay words up here, you do see kind of somebody spinning out. Let me pop those away. And then he kind of gets collected right there. Whoa, man, who is coming back up the track? Looks like the 45 car, Jeff Hallworth. All right, let's roll it back to Jeff Hallworth here and kind of see what happened. All right, as we take a look here at the Tonka Ford, let's take a good shot. What happened? Is he full speed? What goes on? He's riding the outside line. Ooh. Makes a connection there. '68 skates out. Yeah, 45 does okay. Jackson Lomax continues sliding and Yeah, gotta lock him down because the front end, these cars do not don't take damage too well. It looks like Donovan Ross working his way down pit lane. Okay. Now that is going to do it for those gentlemen. I believe they've got a lot of repairs to get done, so let's go ahead and see what everybody's doing coming down pit road. Might not be too shabby here. I believe they have an unlimited set of tires. As everybody's coming down pit right now. A couple of guys starting to already squeak their way out toward the front. All right, now Bill Calder stayed out. McLaren is going to be the first one off pit road. Followed by Tim Chapman, Brandon Ishcanyon, and Brian Dickens. Right now is sitting here in the top 5. Looks like everybody has calmed down and pit for a decent amount of time except Tim Chapman. Tim Chapman actually came down and he only had about a 7.5 second pit stop out of him. So watch out for Tim Chapman. If I were to guess, this was a fuel and right side tires. You come in for those right side tires, so now he has slid up a few more positions. I think he was battling back there in the 8th position, and now that slides him into 3rd. Only with 7-8 laps on these tires, not too much wear out of that right side, but why not freshen up if you have the chance? So these guys are going to go ahead and get that splash of fuel, work their way toward the front. And what's the problem with taking a little pit strategy here? That's really a good idea. I like the way they think. Work that pit strategy early and get and make it happen. But everybody out there in the chat, man, go ahead and tell me what you think of this race. I mean, is Michigan one of y'all's favorite tracks? I mean, I enjoy Michigan every time. I like seeing what they have to allow here. As we get underway, it looks like everybody's starting to double stack here. That should bring Bill Calder here, our race leader, in the 325. So it looks like we will have a Chevrolet up here in the front. So look at that. That'll be one of our salty dogs. And hey, look at it this way. If he is able to stay up front in the field, he may survive. Out there in the chat, Stellar Stella, 32 drivers, big field. Yes, it is, but I believe we've already got a couple guys who may have bent this one up. Donovan Ross, Preston Cranmer. A couple of guys have been folded up here. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. Pace car lights are off on that Ford Mustang. But right now, we're going to have leading the race. It's going to be one Chevy and one Toyota. Our next Ford is back in the 5th position, starting with Brian Dickens in the 122. Barney will only wave the flag as soon as we get past that Geico restart zone. 325 gets a good restart, and look at that. Have to watch out and see if Dan McLaren here is going to get a black flag for passing that line first. We will have to see as Dan McLaren here gets pulled away. Bill Calder's got to watch out that inside line here just a little bit. He's kind of jamming it up there a little bit. Stick it to the floor, buddy. So a little heat cycle from those tires may be playing up on him a little bit. Bill Calder falls back to the 5th position, but that's okay. Good idea to get that draft early and start working his way toward the front. 19 car and the 88 resume where they started before the caution. 1 and 2. Doyle up 4 positions from where he started in his Chevrolet. So now 2 Toyotas in 1 and 2 and a Chevrolet 3rd. Good work by these guys as you can start seeing the separation. But it looks like we got a yellow flag out, and I believe Lomax may be part of this one again. Let's take a look here and see what in the world happened with Mr. Lomax. Seems a little tumble up here with the 25 of Sigelcow and Rayner may have been the culprits here. Early 3 wide condition. Let's take a peek really where this unfolds. Okay, 302. Take a look at John Rayner there. Ooh, makes a move toward the 25. 25 come down just a little bit and the 2 of them connect. Around they go. Yeah, unfortunately, collect the 96. Jackson Lomax got tangled up in that one. Really, Lomax had nothing to do with it. But he will, unfortunately, be one, another driver caught up in one of these wrecks. I'll take an eye at Gary Sigelcow here. We're going to go to that Ace Designs drone view here. And let's take a look. And see if these 2 connect. 25 comes down. Yep. Yeah, he may have thought he was clear here. It turns the 302 around. You see the 96 coming into the picture and the 25 is just there. It's got nowhere to go. Man, look at that squeak through. Man, that was an ugly one. That was definitely not good out of a lot of these drivers. Definitely don't want to see a lot of these guys getting bent up so soon. I think we have just enough time to kind of take a ride along here with Jeremy Tate. Let's kind of see what he sees as he squeaks through this one. Boy, talk about being in the right place at the right time. A lot of guys don't have that kind of luck, but he did on that one. Excellent, excellent. All right, let's get back live as we're getting, probably just getting near the end of our pace laps here. Still up front, a couple of guys have pit. I'm not mistaken, I believe Tim Chapman is pit. He's all the way back here in the 22nd position now. Dan McLaren pit again. Yeah, Dan McLaren, Jeff Hallworth, Andrew Smith, Tim Chapman, Richard Holland, Bill Calder pit. Jackson Lomax probably ended up with some damage there. John Rayner, Bob Light pit on lap 13. And everybody else decided to stay out here. So that's going to leave Brandon Ishkanyon up front here to go ahead and take the race lead. So restart will depend on him. So we're coming up with 15 laps in the books here. Pace car lights will go out on this roll. A couple of guys still down pit road here. I think Preston Cranmer may have bent it, and I think he's taking that one back to the garage. A lot of drivers getting folded up here pretty bad. Hate to see it happen. I believe Cranmer, Goldner, and Ross is still out here. A couple of guys actually making another pit stop. Actually, Bob Light has come back down again. Probably for a quick top off. I don't blame him. If you get a good run, you know, a little pit strategy here doesn't hurt. Get an extra run of fuel. These guys going to pit for fuel. Only take right side tires, no fuel. He's going to be able to be super fast out there on the track and sling his way up into the top 5. So, I don't blame him. Why not? Why not? Bob Light there, right? As I said, about 4.5 second pit stop. So that was a quick top off. Brandon Ishkanyon here, starting first. Lowrance second. Gilbert third. Clevenger fourth. Jason Sams in fifth. Brian Dickens sixth. Kemper seventh. Robert Lynch in eighth. Isaac Salas is going to be in ninth because he's battling a little bit here with Pat Boyce here in the 41. So Brandon's going to go ahead and get us restarted here in that Geico restart zone. At his discretion. Oh, he kind of waits it out. So, quick little fact. It is, once you hit that Geico restart zone, the leader can start anywhere in that blue section. If he decides not to start and take it beyond the blue area, it then ends up being the flagman's choice, and then he can probably wait about another second and get it going. So, seeing that Ishkanyon there took a little slow restart there, it was up to the flagman to go ahead and get it done. Couple of guys getting separated way here in the back, but Ishkanyon up a lot of fight there, right there, between Lawrence and Gilbert. These two guys are going to try to duke it out here a little bit and figure out, you know, who's he going to team up with. Now, I've kind of seen this before. There we go. Drop it off that table there just a little bit and kind of get that separation, which leaves the 9 out there with almost no draft help and keep him out front. Any of you guys out there in the chat have seen this before. It's a little bit of a Chris Darling move for the Max Graphics racing team. You kind of help one guy with the draft and then pull away from him, and that's exactly what you see out of this 19 car. But the 9 is deciding to hook on him like a magnet and stay stuck to that rear bumper. That way he can get pulled around. So these guys now starting to single file themselves out there a little bit. Brian Dickens not wanting any part of that. Seeing if he can still hold it up there with Mark Gilbert on the outside line. 19 breaks for him there a little bit. See if the 9 can do anything. Or the 3 can do anything for him. Says Doyle Lawrence here in the 9 truck, but 3 on our ticker up there, guys. Hopefully these Coast2Coast will kind of straighten that out a little bit. But the 9 taking a peek there on that outside line. Good move. And we'll see if that 78, he can't, it's one of those things, you can't be jerking around like that on International Super Speedway here as Michigan. That thing will break loose on you once you start getting worn out tires. And the 122, notice that of Brian Dickens slides underneath him. Watch the 76. 76 kind of having to drop it below that yellow line. Good check up there by the 76, not letting the 122 kind of run him out of room there. That could have been really ugly. Ishkanyon still leading the race here. Doyle taking that high side, more of that conservative side. But man, just as I say that, there was nothing conservative about that last one. Donovan Ross is mashed to pieces as we're looking at him right here in his Chevrolet. I believe him and Richard Holland may have gotten into it in the 116. See if there's any damage on that 116 here. Looks like a little bit on that side. As we go to our third caution here. And I'm not sure if... Let me see. Who ended up starting this one? We're taking a look here at Richard Holland here. I think it gets up front. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the 61. I thought the 61 should be, oof. 61 actually straightens out from the spin. You see him there on the bottom. And these two guys connect. Oh, Donovan Ross, nowhere to go. Dude. As Donovan Ross, I mean, a couple weeks in a row here, he's got to be kind of beside himself on some of these wrecks here. This is just some of it's kind of silly. I mean, some of it really is. Some of it's kind of silly, but we're gonna go ahead and take a peek here from the top side, especially from that Goodyear blimp. Let's take a shot here, way up high. Kind of see, you see the two connect, and then watch. Go right bound down the track. I got nowhere to go. You think you're escaped, and right into his door. Yeah, Donovan Ross here with some heavy, heavy damage to that car. To that truck, excuse me. Heavy damage. All right. Donovan Ross out there. He's going to have to gotta mind his P's and Q's a little bit here. Let's take a look how he's looking here in pit. Yeah, kind of folded up pretty bad. 30 laps to go in here at Michigan. And that may be it for him. That was a massive shot. I know he's probably got the meatball flag, forcing him to repair. Kind of a bummer for them. So, all right, let's get back toward the front. See what these guys are looking at. The pace car lights are still on. I believe they're going to go ahead and shut off here around this turn. As we get to the start-finish line, meaning one to go. Time to double stack. Jeffrey Kemper has his choice on lane. Jeffrey Kemper, Jacob Butcher, Dale White, and Terry Landis. Terry Landis is the one we did see spinning out, but was able to collect it. These guys last pit on lap 8. Followed by Tim Chapman, Rayner, and Calder. All pit on lap 13. Everybody else has pit on lap 19. I don't see much of a difference happening between lap 13 and 19 pit stops, but I do between 19 and 8. That's going to make a big difference, especially starting on that tire wear on that outside line. It's definitely going to hook a lot better. The heat cycle is going to play up on these front drivers. Especially Jeffrey Kemper up here in the 181. I know he's looking to make a good move here to work his way toward the front. Right now, Kemper up 10 spots. Butcher in the second place up 20. Dale White in the third place in the 091. He's up 25 spots. And Terry Landis up 21 spots there in the 161. Kind of that lime green car on the outside here. These guys have a good run here toward the end. But they are definitely going to have to pit again. I mean, they have no choice. They are going to have to pit before the end of this race here. Let's see how they're doing. All right, Jeffrey Kemper, Jacob Butcher starting it off. Watch that Geico restart zone is their choice. Once again, they leave it up to the flagman. And away they go. Jacob Butcher there toward the outside. Jeffrey Kemper going to hang on to the inside. So we'll see if the heat cycle on the tires plays up and he rides up the track here a little bit. It's a good breakaway start, but wait till everybody gets the draft once they start reaching that top speed here. That draft is going to start playing in, and that you're going to start seeing that time of his breakaway start sawing away. Kind of see a 2/10 gap, and now even less. So here they come. Jeffrey Kemper taking that high side, more favorable for those tires. Ooh, man, Dale White's got to be careful dropping it off the bottom like that. Getting a good mix up back here. Looks like Landis is almost in a 3 wide condition. He's got to be careful. Driver we haven't talked about much, Isaac Salas in the 05 on that top line. But we are under caution yet again for our 4th one here tonight. Not 100% sure here on what ended up causing that one. Alright, let's rotate it back and let's see what exactly happened here at Michigan International Speedway. Alrighty, out there in the chat, Stellar, appreciate you still hanging out there with us. It's time. I need some good high-octane loud racing. Another caution before you could even type this. Yeah, it happens. But let's take a look here at Jeremy Tate in the 63 Toyota here. He is a little bit back there in the pack. As we get this kind of squared away here, let's try to see if we can get a top view here. And you'll see him almost kind of wiggle right there, come up, and the 25 now involved in another one. Turns the 63 around. So the 25 of Gary Sigelcow gets into the 63 of Jeremy Tate. Jeremy Tate looks like he didn't suffer too much damage on his machine here. Just probably some hurt pride and a couple scrapes on the side of his car. So he is definitely going to have to get that car back down pit road here. Do not see anybody coming down pit just yet. As I say that, it looks like Butcher is now pitting, McLaren is pitting, and John Rayner is pitting. So these three gentlemen right here are bringing it down pit at this point in time. A good shot here at Jacob, Dan McLaren, actually. Let's watch him kind of see how his pit stop ends up here. Looks like he gets right side tires. Back down. Pit crew around. Left side's up. Get the top off of fuel there. Ooh, man. Revs it up and dumps the clutch. And out he goes. Away he goes. And really, it's interesting to see how far his different pit strategy here. Dan McLaren actually started on the pole. And he's back here tumbling around in the 23rd position, really in a very, very dangerous spot. Steven Bixler, Jeremy Tate, and Sigelcow are also down pit road now. The guys are coming down for another splash of fuel. Jeffrey Kemper remains in the lead. As they're getting around for another pace lap. We have reached the halfway point here at Michigan International Speedway. Brought to you by Tim Chapman Racing. This is looking pretty good out here for the race. I know we got a few cautions out there, guys. A lot of these guys are dirt drivers, but some of them are asphalt, and they come in here just for this race. Somebody we haven't talked about a lot, Isaac Salas, on a pretty good win streak in the Dirt Series. I believe I saw a little bit of Neil Strausser. I saw him yesterday in the Monday Night Madness Series. Robert Lynch. I can't get this guy away from me. I think he keeps following me. Robert Lynch, I see him here in the NASCAR. I'll see him Thursday nights in the Pro Late Models, and then I'll see him Saturday for the Graceland Shootout Series. So Robert Lynch in the 121. Maybe one of these days I'll see if we end up with another caution, see if we can have a little chat with Mr. Lynch, see how his driving's going out there so far. He is back 9 spots, unfortunately, all the way back to the 13th position, so he's got a lot of work to do, but still, once again, we're halfway, 25 laps to go. You know, really, it's still any man's game out here, especially the way that they do the racing here. There's no, I don't believe there are any short tracks out there. Oh, look at that! See my name on the side? I love it. Looking good. I love it. All right, man. Awesome job. All right. Let's get up front. There's another all right for you. Jeffrey Kemper, Dale White in the front row, followed by Tim Chapman, Ish Canyon, Landis, and Salas, starting 1 through 6. That boy, look how they stack up. Looking good up to the flag, man. No one's taking advantage of that Geico restart zone. A lot of leaders are able to get a good breakaway taken away from that spot, but no one's taking advantage of it tonight. Somebody might think about that next race, or if anybody's tuned into the broadcast here. But Jeffrey Kemper going ahead and getting his way out front, trying to single file as soon as he can. Ooh, man, watch out for Tim Chapman there in the 37, starting to get a little loose. He's got to watch out. But the 61 of Terry Landis doing a good move there toward the inside, keeping his head down. But I hope that is not what I'm reading, as Jackson Lomax is around again in the 96 Toyota. I believe this may have caught up more than one. Showing here Lomax, Calder, McLaren, Smith, and Butcher. And these guys were up toward the front. McLaren, like I was saying, I wasn't sure 100% on his pit strategy here. It seemed to be working at the time, but I just don't know if it was the right call. Getting toward the back of the field like that. Let's go ahead and get this chopper view up here and see what we see. Take a look here at Lomax. 96 got turned around. Whoa! What? I'm sorry. Oh, I was speechless there. I could not believe what I was watching. All right, let's take one more look at that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a different angle. There's the 96 machine here. Spinning me right round. Watch it. Up, over the fence. On the tailgate. Back on his wheels. What? Man, at some point, I guess you just gotta laugh about it, man. This is just, some of this, man, you just can't help it. But the worst part was, that wasn't the only fumble going on up here in the front. You know, the 96 ended up spinning out. But let's take a look at the 85. We kind of see the 85 machine. He unfortunately gets caught up in a bunch of hoopla here. See if I can get you guys a better view. All right. So we saw how the collection with the 96. Watch how they overreact. The 88 collects up front, and then it just starts the tumble up from the back. 88 of Dan McLaren here. You see sliding his way on through. Butcher's now getting turned around. Roger Craig's turned around. Bob Light's turned around. Man, I don't know how Jacob Butcher got tangled up in this. Let's try one more time. Let's look and see what Jacob Butcher in the 85 had here. Oh, what in the world? Oh, Steven Bixler. I guess trying to power through that caution there. Got in the back of him and kind of might have ruined his night here. So I believe out there, not 100%, but I believe Jacob Butcher and Lomax may be out of this one. I believe these gentlemen have bent it, and they are, right now, it's showing them in pit. Alright, looks like Butcher's still moving. He's coming out of pit now. Lomax, he's still in pit. A lot of damage. There's been a lot of tangles up here so far tonight. Yeah, so far, in my little ticker, is 3. 3 is how many he's been kind of messed up in. So hopefully that 96 is able to kind of straighten it out here. I don't know if any of that aerodynamic damage is starting to loosen up that Toyota, and he's having a heck of a time trying to reel it back in. A couple of drivers pit here on lap 28, starting with Jeffrey Kemper. Pit back on lap 28. along with Mark Gilbert, Salas Chapman, Dale White, Neil Strausser, Robert Lynch, Rayner, Boyce, McLaren, Bixler. These guys all pit. Terry Landis is the only one who is yet to pit, but he did. Okay, let me rephrase that. He is yet to pit in any time as soon as these guys have. Last time Terry Landis pit was back on lap 8. Ish Canyon here in the 19. He pit on lap 19, and everybody all the way back to the 8th position has pit back on lap 19. Everybody there has been sooner than that. Jeremy Tate, who got in the last 10, go up in 24 with single cow, and everybody else on lap 28. So here we go. Lining up for that Geico restart zone. And away they go. Another good start out of these guys. Let's see how they get pushed around into turn 1 here. I love always seeing a good field of trucks here. But you kind of wish people wouldn't start smashing 3 wide so soon. As you can see right there toward the back, it almost looks like where Robert Lynch is. He's starting to see a lot of pressure here toward the back. Man, and we just see, I believe Single Cow right here is about to end up, hopefully not in a whole lot of trouble here in that 25 machine. 25 about to end up in a 3 wide condition here with the 81. Oh, man. Oh, yep, there it goes. Boy, I called that one. That is, what in the world? Was that Jeffrey Kemper that went sliding down the track? Alrighty. Unfortunately, we do have a 6th caution here. And Dale White, I think, is the one who got the worst of this. Dale White was on the inside, and it looked like Single Cow kind of came down on him here. See if we can get a decent shot of this. All right, so we saw before Single Cow in the 25 gets into Dale White here. Watch what happens to White. Shoots him straight up the track. 81 turns into a UFO. 091, I guess he's applying for gymnastics here because he gets tumbling down the track. The 302 of John Rayner saw his life flash before his eyes. Man, it's just, you hate to see it. There's these guys. I mean, it's just a battle of inches. They just got to kind of be careful. I mean, Dale White had nowhere to go. But let's go ahead and watch that one full speed, and you kind of see the speed at which this happens. It looks like White does survive. I believe he may have something broken, but we'll have to check in with him. I want to see what the 302 of John Rayner saw as he kind of came up on this one. Let's take a ride along with John Rayner here. All right, to connect right now. Boy, good move. Good move, John Rayner Jr. 302 Chevrolet gets his way through that one as he goes ahead and speeds by the pace car here. A lot of good action out of these cars here tonight. It's interesting to see what kind of pit strategy this should be. I would assume some of these guys who have pit in the later 2/3 of this race are not going to pit again. And I'm talking drivers like Bob Light. I don't see Bob Light probably pitting again. It's showing him back here in the 13th position. A lot of way he's got to get through that. Out there in the chat, you wreck, I wreck, they wreck, we all wreck. Yes, Nick Alves, they are. And once again, these guys are kind of slaughtering each other toward the end. Peyton Presley in the number 7 car, the quiet driver. I will call you that from now on. The silent driver, the quiet killer. I love it. What's up, Patrick? Hey, guys, appreciate you joining me here out there in the chat. This is going to be a blast. They got 17 to go. Out there in the chat, you guys have been at the Michigan International Speedway, and you guys know what it takes to win there. I think I've even raced with you guys either here or was Auto Club. And that high line just seems to be the place you want to be. If you want to be more aggressive and fast, you start diving a lot lower. But we are starting to see a lot of pit strategies here of when to pit, when not to pit. Right now, Ish Canyon and Simons up here have last pit on lap 19. Everybody else has fresher tires since then. Those guys also only had 6 and 7 second pit stops. So they're going to be, really on the back foot here. Maybe you had those right side tires. Good job getting their way toward the front. Simons is up 25 in the 25, up 22 positions, riding on the outside line here. But he's going to have his chance to really get a good slingshot move toward the front. But can they hold it off? I mean, you see them up front. We're out of the way of the cautions here, and they're going to have a chance to stay out of any problems, But I mean, Isaac Salas here. Isaac Salas is in the fifth position here, up 12 positions, and the 05 you see there at the bottom. You see, look like Mark Gilbert there in the 76, kind of slacking off there a little bit, trying to get a wind up there. There he goes. Whoop, blink back. Look out. All right, and Sigelkow. I mean, after all those kind of tangle ups with some of these drivers, look at where Sigelkow is. No, Tim Chapman. Look out. Look out. Look out. And that may have blown his engine. Yep, he's got a lot of smoke, and we may see our next caution. No. No caution. We continue green. Everybody stays straight, just a blown engine. So that ended up being an insane turn of events there. Nick Alves, go fast, don't finish last. Absolutely. Unfortunately, Nick Alves, man, you just keep getting caught up in wrecks yourself. I know going fast is one thing, but going fast and staying all in one piece is another. 15 to go here in Michigan. So now with that tangle up, this may be perfect for the rest of the racers out here on the track. This is now going to start separating them out single file. And if they're single file, that means there's probably not going to be any more cautions here to the end. I know everybody else will be pretty excited about that. Going to go ahead and push this one on down to the end. You know what I mean? Get some good racing. But right now, Isaac Salas and Dwayne Simons here, battling it out here for that third position. Good idea. Isaac Salas really keeping a good run here toward the front. Isaac Salas has been on a really good win streak for the Dirt Series, and now he's trying to increase his luck here in the asphalt. Boy, 76, and Mark Gilbert gets crazy loose right there. Does a crazy switch up. Yeah, got to be careful with those dirt moves there. You can't be jerking around that much. But Isaac Salas sees that, takes the inside line, and starts pulling away. So now not only battling for third, but is now takes second place away from the 76. Good way to fade up, kind of get behind that leader right there. Isaac Salas knows exactly what to do. 1, 2, 3, and 4 here in your screen. Justice Murphy out there in the chat. I think you have me and Nick confused. I don't know. I think there are a couple of you with some bad luck out there, Justice Murphy. You, Kynan, and Nick Alves. Unfortunately, you guys have been getting bent up pretty bad here. Hopefully your luck will turn around with a little bit of Ted Wreckage luck. But maybe you guys are going to go ahead and get a good shot. You guys are Gateway tomorrow for the Racing Revolution League. But let's go ahead and stay concentrated here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays. Stellar's still out there with the crossed fingers hoping for good racing. But right now, look at that. Isaac Salas is now going to take the lead here. Ish Canyon is probably going to let it happen. I probably wouldn't battle him too close. There you go. Go down. Get that door draft. Don't let him squeak away from you because that's 76. And Mark Gilbert's going to try to squeeze in behind Isaac Salas and push him down the way. But a good little switch up here, outside to inside. That's what I do in the final 8 laps of the race, but we got 12 to go here, and now slides on the inside of him, retakes the lead back, and away we go. 19 Toyota of Brandon Ish Canyon regains the lead and puts Isaac Salas behind him. But let's see if Isaac Salas goes ahead, hits that aerodynamic bubble, dials his way back toward the inside, and away he goes. Back to that chopper view, you kind of see how close we are battling here. These guys are up over 180 miles an hour in these trucks, diving into turn 1 here and getting pushed around. I love to see good fights like this up toward the front. Good, clean racing. This is exactly what you want to see. Ish Canyon here on the outside. Battle of inches. Got to watch out for Simons here toward the back. Gonna get a good view here. I like our camera views to be a little bit higher. That way you guys can just see how close these guys are getting. Isaac Salas goes down there, kisses that yellow line just a little bit. Watch this line here. Ish Canyon knows to pull down, start grabbing that draft before the 76, and Mark Gilbert takes that shot. He gets a little lick of that aerodynamic speed right there, and it looks like he may have to give it up to the 76. But as Isaac Salas floats up the track, 76 loses everything. Loses all the aerodynamic speed right there, and Ish Canyon able to break away and pull in front of him. Now tire wear comes into play. Ish Canyon last pit back on lap 19. Salas pit back on lap 28. As you can see, it's playing a little bit up there on Simon. Simon's up 20 positions, but he is still pedaling here in the 4th. As we see Jeremy Tate starting to squeak in from the back. But Ish Canyon, oh no. I believe he now needs to make a pit stop. I bet you he is out of fuel. And I believe, yes, he is probably out of fuel here along with Dwayne Simons here. So that is going to put Isaac Salas up here into the lead. 16 positions he's moved. So right now we got Salas, Gilbert, Robert Lynch here in the 3rd position. Looking, got a solid podium with 9 to go so far. Last pit on lap 28 over the halfway mark, so he should have enough. Jeremy Tate in the 4th position, and Sigelcow with a lot of front end damage there. Actually in the 5th position. Bob Light still battling back here. Hopefully he'll be able to work here with Brian Dickens there a little bit. And the two of those guys will be able to go ahead and get caught up to the rest of the field. But there's a lot of room to be made. Dickens 3.5 seconds off pace. As they are going ahead and using this front stretch right here, right now. As I was saying, these guys can work together. You see Bob Light going ahead and reeling in Sigelcow here. Don't count Bob Light out in that 77 Toyota here. That car is fast. Oh, wow, watch out. Sigelcow bites that wall. Bob Light sees it, makes the move toward the outside, slides around really quick. Get out of the way. Oh, Sigelcow, what in the world? Sigelcow turned him around. And if I were to guess, right now, Sigelcow may have been out due to amount of incident points. Oh boy. We will see if that 25 Chevrolet is still out there after this one. I don't know really on that one. That was that looked a lot uglier, but let's hopefully see if we can find a camera position here that tries to save face here a little bit. 25. This is out of turn 2. You see the collection here. Bob Light squeaks around. And boy. Let me try that one more time. You're going to hear my mouse kind of go crazy in there in a second. Because I'm trying to see. Did 22 hit the wall and ricochet into him? Yeah. All right, guys, out there in the chat, talk to me. What do you think? Because that looked pretty messy. That looked pretty messy. I want to see if we can get the shot above Brian Dickens here instead. Let's see what happens. Brian Dickens, watch the lines on the ground. Both of them kind of turn toward each other. So it's kind of Jones' favorite word. I wouldn't call that an iRacing incident. Or net code. I think that was, yeah. I feel you guys out there in the chat. We'll kind of keep an eye on Dickens here because I did see him sliding down the backstretch as I believe Sigelcow has been sent straight to the trailer at this point. I believe that 122 may be out of it for the race. That, is pretty close to the end here. For these guys to kind of make it up. All right, let's see. Peyton Presley, you can tell they just finished racing dirt with all these slide jobs. You are right. Some slide jobs work, some don't. Especially here in the asphalt, you guys know it. All right, looks like everybody from Terry Landis back. Jason Sam's pit on lap 32. Terry Landis back here on 32. But somebody, Robert Lynch here on 44. Smith, Tate, Craig back here on lap 44. These guys are 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th position. I guess these guys are going to try it up a little bit with about 15, 18-second pit stops. That is definitely 4 tires and fuel. Really a gun this one toward the end. I would probably take just enough fuel for 6 laps plus a caution. You know, make sure you got just enough. You know, slap in about another 5.5 gallons here and get back out on the track. Stellar, you were calling the top 3 taking each other out. I don't know. Isaac Salas, Mark Gilbert, and Bob Light are your top 3 right now. I don't think these guys have raced together, and they are very close. I know Bob Light is a super awesome driver. If you guys have tuned in to any of those close call wrecks, Bob Light is the one. That's the guy right here in the 77 Toyota truck here. I mean, this guy can drive. So if there's anything happening, I wouldn't say it would be him, but he will floss through it here on this one. But we have 5 laps to get it done. 4 when they get to the line. Pace car lights are out, so this will be a 4-lap shootout. For those guys who pit back on lap 44, I seriously doubt that middle pedal will be even considered. They are going to really give it everything it's got. Isaac Salas has got to do everything he can to stay out in front of that 76. Mark Gilbert has been up front all night. He started this race in 3rd and is hanging out in 2nd. So he's not gonna have the jitters. He's been up here. Isaac Salas, although instead he started back in the 17th position. So he's up here in the lead, and now now's his time. But he's on a hot streak right now in a lot of leagues. But can he get on a hot streak here in the asphalt? Isaac Salas, Gilbert, Sams, Light, and Landis here for our top 5. And away we go. 41 of Pat Boyce there may be the 5th position there on the inside line. But a little slow start there from Salas. We'll see if any moves start happening, but the 911 got to kind of mind his time as he already goes in and slams it 3 wide. Stella, I'm going to have you if this happens with the top 3. As we get going, no, pop high. Oh boy, no. Stella, when I join you in the booth tomorrow, I'm telling you, I think you and I are going to have some words on that one. I think the 911 just got a little too hungry too early. Let's go ahead and get to that Ace Designs drone view here. Take a look at that 911 once again. And Jason Sams connects with the 76. Collects the 41. Oh, don't go back up the track. Let's see who else ended up in that. 911, yeah, the 911 and the 76 are probably totaled out of this one. 76 and Mark Gilbert. That is absolutely heartbreaking for him. Had a good run. So I'm assuming a lot of these guys who were toward the back are going to have a good shot toward the front now. Seeing we've kind of smothered each other out here toward the front. As we get going back here, 3 to go. So there's going to be a green-white checkered going on. Man, yeah, didn't see the fuel shortage coming. Robert Lynch having a good run here with our 8th caution here so far. These guys still got a good shot getting their way toward the front. Isaac Salas really kind of praying for a good show here. Let's see. You know what? I want to see. I told you I'd pull him in here. I do not want to be incorrect. Let's go ahead. Spectator channel. Yeah, there we go. That's who I'm looking for right there. Right there. Robert Lynch, you got a copy on me here, bud? Oh, Robert! There you go. All right, bud. Dude, how is the race going out there for you tonight? And don't say cautions. All right. And do this.
It's all right. It's, I'm just trying to play the strategy with my fuel and the tires and everything. And, I finally got up to, worked my way back up from 17th to 3rd. And then that last caution come out, and I decided to go in and take some tires and top off my fuel because I knew I couldn't make it. So, but now I'm good. So hopefully I can just work my way up.
All righty. Well, hopefully the caution laps won't continue. I don't know if you got just enough fuel to, kind of squeak it out there and, get your way back toward the front. Did you take any tires on that last pit stop?
Only on the outsides. I took outsides because, and I'm glad I did because I was down to 93% on the right front. So. Okay. Well,
with unlimited tires, why not? I know. I see you here at a 9.5 second pit stop. Man, you've broken up into the top 10 here, and you got to be feeling pretty good about that. Is that obviously staying out of trouble from the front three. One of our viewers out here called it that the top three were going to get into it, and they did. Is there anything you can think of to try to work your way toward the front? I mean, farther than you are?
Yeah, just run my line and stay within the draft so that I don't lose the draft and just hope for the best, I guess.
All right. Well, hopefully you are able to find a friend out there and get pushed up front. And a couple of guys I know that are pretty antsy about getting their way toward the front. Isaac Salas doing pretty well, and Bob Light. They are starting, unfortunately, in the front row. I tell you, team up with one of those guys, but man, I guess there's a reason they are up front. Just kind of pit strategy and things like that. But Robert Lynch in the 121, man. Hopefully you were able to keep that truck clean and get you, hopefully get a top 5 here.
Yeah, I hope so too, Patrick. Thanks.
All right, bud. Keep up the good work. All right, and that's Robert Lynch there in the 121 Cruns. Hoping to get his way up front, but the pace car lights are out on that Ford Mustang, guys. Once again, 8 cautions down. Hopefully no more to go here. 3 laps to get it done. 2 when we hit the line. And then Bob Light is going to see if he can showcase some of his moves here and get around Isaac Salas. But right now, we'll see if Isaac Salas has got anything for him in this Geico restart zone. 05 waits for the flagman, and away they go. Bob Light waits till he crosses the line before he makes that lane change. But Bob Light does see if he goes ahead and tries to switch it up on him. Yeah, Bob Light did not want to take any time on that 77 machine. That Toyota gone ahead and snuck right on around, taking the lead from Isaac Salas here. So now Salas working that outside line, but will he have enough speed coming down the backstretch here? Let's get up in that chopper view here, kind of take a peek. Chopper view, not cockpit. There we go. Bob Light. Oh, Bob Light makes contact. No! Isaac Salas, hold on. Hold on. Oh! Oh, Isaac Salas, excellent job holding on to it. As the caution came out during that, I do not believe it was Isaac Salas who actually was part of that turnaround right there. Per my little ticker, it was not him. It was actually Ish Canyon in the back who ended up getting into a problem. Being in the back of the field here. And is showing him right now down pit lane with a destroyed car. Excellent job. Excellent job. And he maintains and survives. Wow, I am so glad we had that view from the top. Seeing what in the world was happening there. As I believe we have a frequent flyer here. As we get to our caution replay, watch the 19. It happens actually ahead of him. There, the 45. If I'm not mistaken, that's the Tonka Ford, and up in the air he goes. Whee! 45 of Jeff Hallworth. Again, no. As that Tonka Ford takes flight, checks on his GPS if he's looking at his house or if that was somebody else's, and then back onto the track. Unfortunately, spinning on his lid here. The 19 of Brandon Ish Canyon here really had a great race. A fantastic race all race here tonight. and it just absolutely came undone. That is the shootout here toward the end. And that's one of those things here, especially here in the booth. It's easy for us to call it, seeing what's happening, calling it as it is, what we see. But it's still, awful here, what you see in the back. A little chat out there. Let's see if I can find Isaac Salas, an in-car view. We got a viewer out there asking to see what it looks like from the inside. All right, you get and you shall have. Isaac Salas, here we go. This is where dirt car racing comes into play. So Peyton Presley, your heart out. Man, look at that. All right, Robert Rader, you have seen it. That was some wild driving right there out of Isaac Salas in that 5 machine. Let's see where Isaac Salas ended up. Isaac Salas, wow, all the way back here to the 16th position. I believe he had to pit. He pit back on lap 52 here. So he did pit on this extended. And that is, yeah, that's going to kind of bite for some of these drivers out here. Isaac Salas going to try to line up one more time, especially when you're up there in the lead. And you just, I don't think him and Bob Light meant to do that. I know Bob Light's a good racer, and I think it was kind of a racing issue. That one I'll call a racing incident. Is I know I had I got into Kevin Orlando one time in the 27 car at Charlotte, and I think it was just that tunnel turn where I kind of kept it a little straighter. He kind of took the humps, and we put each other into the wall. So it may be just somebody didn't know where somebody was, somebody didn't consider another line or something, and just kind of a little bit of a miscommunication. I think a good bump and run is okay, but that was kind of a rub, and it was very interesting to see how Salas's truck handled that. But I give it hats off to Salas for really the braking and the accelerating, when to let the car rotate and when not to, especially sliding sideways at about 160 miles an hour in that Gander Outdoors truck. So, Isaac Salas and his Chevrolet. Right now I see him staged there in the 14th position. He showed him 16th, but maybe the lines are getting a little bit crooked. Bob Light, the ace of this. Justice Murphy, see you at Bristol, Patrick. All right, and away we go. Bob Light in the front. Pat Boyce getting his great start, up 12 positions in his Ford. Now away we go. So if these guys can go ahead and get this lap finished, white flag will be out, and then it doesn't matter after that who gets tangled up. But Bob Light starting to get a lot of pressure from that 41 of Pat Boyce here. Watch out. So right now, Bob Light, Boyce, Andrew Smith, 1, 2, and 3. Dan McLaren finally coming back. He originally started on the pole, now here in the 3rd position. He's going to try to take a peek. Here he comes. Outside line in the 88. Pit back on lap 44, so he's got the tires. But does Bob Light have the courage to try to take him on? But he does not have enough. Bob Light, holy cow, what in the world? Watch out. Bob Light, I bet you just ran out of fuel. Go ahead, say it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. All right, Dan McLaren up front, going ahead and pulling away. But we got guys. White flag is out. It does not matter. Isaac Salas caught up in this one. Somebody call the ambulance for those guys. So still, away we go. Dan McLaren is going to bring home the win. As long as the 79 can't reel him in. Andrew Smith is the only one who's got the chance. Away they go. Dan McLaren, Andrew Smith, and Jason Sams. Sams under fire. Here by Robert Lynch. Robert Lynch trying to see if he can take a peek. Here it comes. The squeeze. Oh, man. Robert Lynch, 4th. Jack Clevenger, 5th. Sams survives. And interesting to see, Jason Sams in the 911, who started that second to last caution there. Probably third to last caution, where he took it 3 wide there into turn 1 and 2. Comes back and goes ahead and nails a podium here. I actually want to roll back here a little bit and see what happened when Bob Light went off the track. These guys just started destroying each other in turn 1 and 2. And I don't know if, from this angle, what happened here. Let's take a look. Alright, here in the front, you see the kind of this front cluster where this huge pile is. Robert Lynch is toward the top. Robert Lynch cuts down. And then just that's it after that. Then the cars just start kind of tangling up here. Let me see if I can find the 41 of Pat Boyce. I want to get a little closer to his car. Pat Boyce in the 41 here. 41 gets turned. But it straightens him out. Kind of another bump and then... Yeah, Isaac Salas had nowhere to go. Tim Chapman squeaks through. That is going to do it for our race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hang around for a little while. I actually want to have a little chat with some of these guys here that were toward the end of the race. So Dan McLaren, Andrew Smith, and Jason Sams survive this one here tonight. Heck of a battle out of them, especially with that 911. Getting a good run out of his vehicle here tonight of Jason Sams. Let's see if we can reel Jason Sams in. All right, Jason Sams. Jason Sams in the 911 car. Man, dude, talk me through the last couple of laps here.
I knew I had to get up high and get around the guys that were going to run out of fuel and had worse off tires than me and just try to rip the top and gain momentum for the last lap to try to dive bomb the bottom.
Yeah, you pit back on lap 47, so that seemed to work out pretty well for you here at Michigan. You really, what... I want to talk to you about that one. I think it was the third to last caution. It started becoming a three-wide condition, and then I think you got pinched. What happened there?
I feel like the same thing. I had a good run on. I can't remember who it was on the outside there, and I was making a good run under him, and then I don't know if he didn't see me or if he just got more traction, but he started to come back down. So I started to let out and turn down, and then I don't know who dove under me, but they kind of dove under me, and then it was just bad from there, and I got real loose, and then I feel bad for whoever I accidentally took out there after that. That was not intentional there, but it was just a bad situation.
Yeah, a lot of good racing out there tonight, but really a lot of bumping and banging there toward the end. We're kind of taking a little slow-mo here of you squeaking around the 41 car, kind of getting spun out here, man. Pat Boyce, you were able to kind of squeak past there and survive. But, yeah, dude, great racing here tonight. I know it was a heck of a battle, I think, right there toward the end when you were battling there with Robert Lynch, who ended up in the 4th position. Great job tonight, man. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs.
I just want to thank you guys for putting on the race. Tim Chapman for hosting the series. Clownhead Racing, Austin Marlette from Clownhead Racing. Drillin' Spike Designs, Chris Watkins for the awesome wrap. Go check them out. And that's about it. I appreciate you guys throwing this race on.
All right, great job, Jason Sams. I can't wait to see what you got coming for us upcoming, man. This is this asphalt track racing is very different for a lot of these dirt track guys, man. And can't wait to see what you got for us coming next. Now, it's Jason Sams in the Ford, 911 Ford tonight, bud. Great job.
Thank you.
Man, Jason Sams, dude, that guy was on a run. But Andrew Smith here in the 79, really our second place finisher here tonight. Andrew Smith, I thought may have had something for Dan McLaren, but Dan McLaren had that thing on a rail. Andrew Smith, you survived. What a race this was here tonight, man.
Yeah, it was a race of attrition for sure. I got a black flag on that first caution for passing under yellow going into the pit, so served that. Got a lucky dog. Fought my way back through, and it just worked out with the green-white checkers and had my teammate up in front, and yeah, we just went for it.
Man, that was definitely a crazy move, especially starting back there in the 14th position is where you started, up 12 from where you started. awesome job here tonight, man. It's still, is there anything you could have done to really, I mean, other than no cautions and staying out of trouble? I mean, how many incident points did you have, and what was the key to getting, staying up front and getting out there?
I think I finished with maybe like 4 or 5 incident points. So all in all, pretty good. Honestly, just trying to treat it almost like a plate race because we were pretty much flat out all the way around. So just kind of stay the best out of trouble as you can, or stuff happening in front of me, try to steer away from it rather than braking per se, because then you get run over from behind. But yeah, just kind of stay as clean as you could. Just be smart. Don't put the truck in sketchy spots, really.
All right, man. Fantastic job tonight. I can't really appreciate seeing you racing that 79 Monster Energy car, truck out there. Another Toyota finishing up in the top 3. Great job tonight, man. So go ahead and give me your shout-outs.
I got first and foremost, Spartan Racing. Like I said, my teammate Dan McLaren and I won 2. That's great. This is a home track for us. We try to go to the NASCAR race there every year. I got to give a shout out to VMR Apps, Perfect Endeavor Expressions, Coast2Coast for the league, and you guys for the broadcast.
All right, fantastic job tonight, bud. We'll see what you got lined up for us next week for the Gambler Motorsports Topside Tuesdays, man. Great job tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I know everybody else out there, y'all are getting pretty tired out there. I don't blame you. This was definitely a one for the books. As he said, a war of attrition out there. It's just hard to stay out front, hard to make the right moves, the right call, and where to be at the right time. But the one who ended up right place, right time is Dan McLaren. Dan McLaren really had a fast truck out here tonight. Pit back on lap 44, overtook Bob Light that looked like apparently ran out of gas there. Dan McLaren, that Toyota tonight was fast.
Yeah, sure was. Felt pretty good all race. That was pretty wild at the end. Sucked that Bob ran out of gas though. He's always good to run with at the finish.
All right, so talk me through the mindset you had. Per my ticker here, you ended up in trouble back on lap 27. Got bent up, folded up pretty bad. I'm assuming you came down for a quick repair tires and try one more time, avoiding everything else?
Yeah, I ended up using 2 quick repairs. Most of the time I was just coming down for fuel. Never know when you're going to get that long green flag run. But, yeah, it is what it is, but it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're right. You did come down pit road actually 7 times. I guess, making sure you had enough fuel. Last thing you want to do is run out there toward the end. But here you are in winner's, in winner's circle, man. This is awesome. You got to be feeling pretty good about this, coming into this after Talladega. Talladega
absolutely.
run here, man. You actually won already here in this league, and now you are now a multiple winner.
Feels good.
Oh yeah, man, dude.
Not too often you get to say that because there's a lot of really fast competitive drivers in this league. It's not easy, that's for sure. But no, that was another. We could have had probably a few less cautions, but the more we do it, the better we'll get at it.
All right, man. Well, I didn't ask anybody else because I want to make sure I got your input being the multiple winner. Next Tuesday, assuming you're going to be there, we're going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway at night. How are you feeling about that? We're going to kind of shrink it down and try to put 50 more laps at Charlotte. I mean, how's your confidence level feeling coming into that?
Nah, Charlotte's another fun track. It's once you figure it out, it's a lot of fun to drive. It's another fuel mileage track, so you got to manage your tires, manage your fuel, and just make sure you put your truck at the right place at the right time.
All right, bud. Fantastic job tonight. Another win for you in the books. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs, and let's get it going.
All the guys at Spartan Racing, Coast2Coast Racing League, VMR Wraps, Wildstar Custom Fabrications, and you for putting on this awesome broadcast, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it. I can't wait to hear what you got to say when you tune back in, seeing how kind of these guys getting bent up, getting good replays of everybody getting smashed to pieces, man. But you survive and bring home another win. Great job tonight, Dan McLaren, and hopefully after being driver of the week, the luck continues with you, sir.
Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
All right, and that is Dan McLaren here, bringing home the race win, and what a race it was. It lasted a good while there, and everybody else had a heck of a shot here. This was tough for a lot of the drivers here. What a battle it was here toward the end, and just absolute a slaughterfest. I mean, we started with the midgets, then we had the 410s. Especially with the 410s racing where there was almost no guardrail. Guys getting sent into the trees, and here at Michigan, we're going to shrink it down and end up at Charlotte next week. It is going to be very tough for that Tuesday. Tomorrow we got the Cool Ray Hometown Heroes. Those guys are going to be getting wound up for that, and it looks like these guys are going to get lined up for, yes, the fixed 305s, 360s, 358 big blocks, and the Vets only 360s there toward the end. Lucas Oil will be the track, and Lernerville, you guys saw that earlier in the 410s. They're going to be going ahead and giving it a shot for the Mission 22 run there around about 9:15, 9:45 run. Don't forget to tune into them. If you want to follow us here at Simtrax Broadcasting, which I hope you guys do. You guys have already liked, subscribed, following me already. I will be with the Racing Revolution League on Wednesday night. It shows right now these guys will be at Gateway, but I'm being taunted by some of the guys here in the chat that we will be at Bristol. So that is going to be a hair puller there on that one as those guys get underway. Join us at simtraxbroadcasting.com, and you'll find my schedule up there so you can tune in to any race anytime when we've got one scheduled. If you're looking to get one scheduled, go ahead and follow us there to my website as well, and you can schedule one. If you want to join me here in the booth, I know Stellar Stella out there in the chat sheet joins me on Wednesdays. If you want to kind of give it a run up here in the booth with me, I'm willing to talk to you and see if we can work something out. But all of us here at Simtrax Broadcasting, thank you for joining me here tonight. Be well, be safe. Take care, guys. Oh, sorry about that. Roger, you still there? Oh yeah, you're good, bud. Oh, we can do 50, bud. I'm not gonna press it.
Hey.